Hello, hello, my dear friends, you've reached Elena's bar. The best place on the internet, the very best by far. She'll help improve your fitness, but there's also so much more. 'Cause here are just a few things that this channel has in store. There's bar and there's Pilates and there's belly dancing too. And many styles of yoga, so I'm sure there's one for you. Then watch her practice pianist string from right within her home. She's in such big condition, she'll outrun the metronome. Elena's Bar, Elena's Bar. They're the best place on the internet, the very best by far. It's not just the piano, but the ukulele too. The guitar and violin are even more that she can do. She does so many different things, it's hard not to lose track. I nearly didn't mention that she posts on her Substack. Elena's Bar, Elena's Bar. The best place on the internet, the very best by far. Yet controversial topics may be brought up for discussion, but try not to provoke her or she'll swear at you in Russian. And sometimes certain topics can make quite a big impression. So remember, you take part at your own risk and your discretion. Elena's Bar, Elena's Bar. The best place on the internet, the very best by far. You might even meet Anita if you're quite a loyal fan. She's got a fixed male cat, but she's so desperate for a man. We've really got it all, then you couldn't ask for more. So sit right back and watch Elena shave a 3 or 4. Elena's Bar, Elena's Bar. The best place on the internet, the very best by far.
Hello, hello, my dear friends. Welcome back to Elena's Bar and the Resurgence of Sanity. How are you doing, Steve, today?
I'm feeling sorry for myself.
Oh, why?
Oh, I knew you would ask that because I have to do this alone with you. Your husband's not here. Nick is not here. So, man, I'm stuck with you all by myself.
I'm looking forward to it because I even prepared some notes, guys. I was staying late up last night and writing some notes. But you know what? We will have fun. Okay? Don't worry. Whatever you say, I promise I won't take it personally. And I think my husband is coming. I heard him awake. So yeah, he's going to be here. So don't worry. You won't be completely alone. And then Nick also texted. I think he might be joining us, but maybe a little late. So yeah. Anyway, guys, today we have a very fun topic. We are talking about shame. Okay. And I've been hearing a lot on social media how we should normalize shame. Men are saying, let's start shaming these promiscuous women. And then it looks like women are catching up and they are doing a decent job of it, let's say. Partly they are virtue signaling, but okay, they are criticizing female behavior. I think it's part of shame, right? And yeah, I mean...
Okay, hold on. What are women doing?
Well, they are showing videos of other women saying crazy things, and then they point out, oh, this chick is crazy. Look at me, I'm better.
Okay, women are doing this? Come on. Women are shaming women. Okay, come on. Let's get real here.
Okay.
A small percentage of women are out there saying these things and shaming other women. Is it working?
No.
Okay. So, since it's not working, what are the women who shame other women? What are they doing? I think you already said it.
They're virtue signaling.
Okay.
Well, look, ladies, I wish it worked, okay? I wish it actually worked. And women paid attention to what you are saying. And I was also doing, and sometimes I'm guilty of that too, But it just doesn't work. Even what I do doesn't work. I go
Hey.
after like whenever I see a woman doing something, I comment on her, telling her like, look, this is not appropriate. Okay, I do it like one-on-one, but like what they are doing, I guess the motivation behind what all of us are doing is the same, right? But and it equally doesn't work.
Okay, I have to point out the change in mindset that has gone on with you. On Wednesday night, after our Resurgence of Sanity show, Elena wanted to know, what's the topic? She always says that. She wants to come up with a topic. So she had been talking about shaming women. I mean, she's always kind of talked about that. And then I said, oh, yeah, that's a good topic, but let's make the title Why Shame Doesn't Work. And you would have thought that someone ran over her dog. She hated that idea. The concept that shaming women doesn't work. I mean, she was just deflated about that. Well, okay, that was Wednesday night. Then she had Thursday, Friday. Said, well, about 2.5, 3 days to think about it. And now she's arrived at, yeah, shame doesn't work. But she really wanted it to work. What do you say, Plutarch?
You're probably overestimating how much she's given up. Remember, I talk to her every day, and she's, ever since you brought this up Wednesday evening, she's been desperately begging me to make shame work.
Well, okay, if shame doesn't work, did it ever work throughout history?
Make a case that it did.
Well, okay, let's say we recently watched The Band of Brothers, right? And then women were humiliated publicly. Humiliation is shame, right? So they were publicly shamed, and then they were deprived from the benefits of society. They were sent out to like villages. Everybody knew who they were, and it just didn't. Whatever they did, they suffered the consequences for their actions. Does shame alone work? No, and this is not even the argument that I'm trying to make. But look, putting them on display publicly, pointing the finger at them and saying like, this is bad, and then executing upon that, kicking them out, depriving them, it worked.
Okay. Does shame without consequences work?
No. And this is not the argument that I was even trying.
Now, let me ask it the other way. Does consequences without shame work?
Yes, maybe.
Okay, so why do you need the combination of the two if the consequences work on their own?
But how would people know whom to shame? Oh, I mean, like not to shame, but whom to deprive? You have to make it known to some extent. And I think this is what the Red Pill guys were trying to do. Those big panel shows, they were trying to expose female nature on display so that men didn't buy into the, sugar and spice, everything nice, because it was the behavior of women was presented to them. Some men who were smarter, they took that advice.
Are you mistaking displaying, looking at behavior, pointing at it, going, that's not going to work for shame?
Maybe.
Because here's the thing. Shame is something that you try to get somebody else to feel. And look, not a woman on those panel shows felt any shame for how she was behaving.
Well, what was the purpose? And I did mention it in my article about shame, actually. What was the purpose of those shows? I don't think it was to shame women. I think
it was not to shame women.
Demonstrate female nature on this.
No, it was to educate men.
Educate men. It. Yeah. How do you educate men? You show them what women are, right?
Yeah, but none of this involves shame.
No, you don't show them what women are. That's just.
We can't hear you, Steve. Mm-hmm.
Okay, you don't show. It's not enough to show men what women are. So, I got a lot of data now. What do I do with the data? No, you have to show men. You have to demonstrate to other men how you treat women.
Yes.
So that's what it's demonstrating. How do you treat population of women? Okay, a strong man should treat the population of women with distance, calling them out to keep them away from him. But we know from the Bible that one man, one woman form a marriage. And from my life observations, one man can only rule one woman.
Just barely.
And most of the time, he can't even do that well. So
yeah.
Expect men to rule feral women. No, not going to happen. One man, at best, can rule over one woman. Okay, so shame is a general emotion. You're trying, if men think by shaming women, you're going to get women to behave, you're asking society to do your job. One man's job is to find one woman and to rule over one woman. And yes, he can use disapproval. And he can impose consequences. Used to be, historically, they would be physical consequences. We're not in that age now. The main okay, Plutarch, I'm going to throw a slow pitch to you.
Good, it's early in the morning.
What consequence? What's the last remaining and powerful consequence a husband can impose on his wife to keep her in line?
The threat of leaving her.
That would be it. Ultimately, the shaming or the disapproval or the admonishment is kind of a warning. It's a reminder of the threat. But you had to make the threat clear in the beginning. Okay, here's your warning. I'm calling you out on this because, if you don't change, here's the consequences. I'm out of here because that's the only thing I have left in my power. You have the freedom of will to do what you want or to change. But I'm not sticking around for this.
So do you think that if on a major scale, more men were capable of threatening their wives with leaving them, do you think that would change female behavior when the laws are not on men's side? So he can threaten to leave her, but she can still ruin him and take his kids away.
Do you want to handle that one, Plutarch?
Yeah, that's all true. But what else does a man have? Yes, the woman can take away the kids. Yes, the woman can use the powers of state to crush the man. It's all true.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But at the end of the day, and Nick's not here to talk about his latest, but if he wants to show up, he can and talk about it. He can. Even in the case of the state giving the woman, let's just say giving the woman everything she asked for. Let's just say the state just gives her whatever she asks for. Her life is still materially worse. Oh, like a pig in shit, she'll say that her life isn't materially worse. But when you actually look at the proximate outcomes of her life, it's worse. So a man can visit these consequences on a woman regardless of what the state does. Because there's nothing the state can do to make her life better as a single mom than it would be if she was still a married mom. That's cold hard truth, and women don't want to hear it. They want Big Daddy State to cover everything, but it can't.
Luther, you're talking logic. In fact,
I know I am.
Let me make it real. I'll act as if, I'll make this statement as if Elena is my wife. Elena, you are free to do that. I'm not putting up with it. I'm out of here.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yes, I know you have all the divorce laws, and you can bring me to court, and you can steal the children. Go right ahead. Try it. I got my shit together. I got my finances are clear. Oh, yes. Call the cops right now. Have me booted out of this house. Oh, wait a minute. The house is in my name. You know, we got that agreement. You know, you're kind of paying me rent here. I'll take that to court. Oh, yes. You're going to try all this stuff. Oh, you're going to close our credit card accounts. Oh, gee. I got credit card accounts in my own name, and you have some in your name. I'm not paying yours. So you can shape up, or you can involve the authorities, but I am aware of that, and I'm prepared. So now, what do you want to do? Ball's in your court.
She will cry harder, and
Okay, so she's got all this power of the state behind her. I made it real for her. Right here, right now. What are you going to do?
Well, it depends on how confident she is in her.
Will many women blindly forge ahead? Yes, of course they will. And then you let them have the consequences.
I don't condone what women are doing. It's just very easy for them to do it to men. And then what they are doing to their kids is just insidious.
Why is it easy? Because men have commingled their finances. They have the joint account. They let their wife manage the finances. You dumb shit. That's your power. Keep the finances on your side. Give her enough money to survive, and well, more than survive, to provide. Give her enough money every week, every month, so her needs are taken care of. But when she is out of line, and your last resort is to remove yourself, don't leave her continuing provision. That makes it real right now. Oh, yes, you can go to court. 3 months, 6 months, you might have some money coming in. What are you doing between now and then?
Well,
hey, I believe in equality. I'm paying for myself. You can pay for yourself. Understand, this is equality.
Yeah. Well, they don't want, most women don't want equality, and you guys talked about it before. No, what they want is the benefits, and then they can use their kids. They can extract more money through men, from men through their kids, and this is what a lot of women are doing. And do you think they are spending this money on their kids? Hell no.
No.
They rely on the government to take care of the kids, and then they spend this money on themselves.
Yes. And it works. But it takes time. It takes a year to get that worked out, at least. Don't leave her the recourse in the year. What?
More if he decides to really fight you. It can. These court battles can go on for a long time, and the women don't know this. Okay, so a lot of what we're doing is trying to tell men, you can make this hurt for women, and it's okay to make it hurt for women. Okay, but none of this is about shame. Okay. Yes, I know I'm being the logical one today. Because, guys, this is how you actually do it. The court system and the women all involved in this want you to think irrationally. Because when you think irrationally, you're not thinking along the lines of, as Steve was describing, oh, well, you know, honey, here's the things that are going to happen to you. Here's the things I'm going to do to you in this process. Oh, yeah, I'll eventually lose. Key word, eventually. So when we men get up on these shows and we start talking about what to do and how to defend yourself and all of that, we're not talking to women. We might be using women as an example, but we're not talking, we're not trying to change their mind. That's a fool's errand. Even if you change a woman's mind, so what?
Yeah, I know. Nothing major changes. It's like, well,
Right.
what can she do there?
So what?
You know, the best she can do is like shame other horse.
Hi, Nick.
There's one thing. Okay, here's a point. You guys have to get this. You have to understand this. And Elena doesn't quite understand it. She thinks women have the power. Oh, they can use the courts. They can destroy men. Yeah, they can. It only works when the man is not prepared for it. If the man heads it up, the man still has the power in the current moment. It's a God-given power, authority over his wife, authority over the finances. And if he knows he has that authority, her bluster and threats of legal, okay, that can happen. Yes, it's real, but that's 6 months, a year, 18 months from now. Whereas right now, I'm not doing anything illegal. And I got my ducks in a row. I got my $30,000 in the bank ready to pay the lawyer. I'm walking out. We're going to separate. My paycheck is not going to be coming in. Yes, you can file a restraining order. Okay, well, the money's not coming in. They're not going to force me to pay you money. In the meantime, there's no restraining order to do that. So you better have a plan. Now, you can spend time making that plan, or you can just decide, okay. Now, here's the thing. It's not as bad as what I outlined, because a woman is automatically attracted to a man with a plan, who is decisive, who knows where he's going, and doesn't need her. She's automatically going, ooh, this guy's not a pushover. She may get mad in the moment, but she'll also kind of get aroused in the moment. And women stay attracted to a man she respects. There is no way she can disrespect a man who just said this is reality. She's forced to respect him. Women will have sex with men they respect and don't love. Women will not have sex with a man they love but don't respect.
Well, they might if they want to get that guy on the hook, and they might bamboozle him and then no sex for him.
Okay, that again depends on his frame.
Okay,
you can say women will do this. I don't think they. In general,
Steve,
they don't.
It's all great. I wish more men were thinking like you guys. I really do. Now,
Well,
how many men are going to be capable, like mentally, of doing what you are talking about, like separating their finances, like preparing?
Yeah, okay. Yes, you're right. There's not many men out there who do this. You're absolutely right. And would the world be better off if more did it? Well, of course. So that's why those of us in the red pill space, all of us combined, get up week after week, day after day, and talk about it. Because here's the deal. Are you going to get all men? No. Banish that thought from your mind. You're not going to win all men. Are you going to win most men? No. Banish that thought. You're not going to win most men. Who you need to win is a very specific subset of men. The men that the women want. And the women want the smart, high-value men who can produce the resources to get the lifestyle she wants. And there's not a lot of men out there who can do that. So the answer is, in order to get women in line, you need to win maybe 5% of men. That's it. Maybe 5.
Well, because this is what women want, the kinds of men that women want. They're not interested in the other men, right?
I mean, yes, we could do a whole long.
Well, I mean, there are resourceful men.
Not gonna,
if you look at retcons, they could be attractive to women too. And look, they don't have that kind of attitude in a woman's mind, right? She, like Anita, okay, like she's picking herself a convenient husband. She's not going to go for the red pill guy who will impose boundaries, even though she's attracted to him. No, she will marry a beta sucker that she can pump and then dump. So the retcon man, then you have to win.
You just gave it away. You just gave it away, though, because she's not actually attracted. She's just looking to squeeze resources out of him. Well, okay. So he's still not the man she wants. The women have already solved the selection problem for men. Okay. We in the red pill don't need to worry about those kinds of men. Yeah, she might marry him, but she's just looking to squeeze resources from him. Now, do we want those men to do as Steve says and operate in a more secure fashion and in a more rational fashion, really think? Of course we do. But in those men doing that, they become the men that these women want. So again, there's no you have created, no matter how you sit here and try to define this difference, in the act of becoming the man that can do this, they become the men that these women want. They demonstrate that they are the men that these women want. And then they start setting boundaries on the women. The women go, "Oh, okay, this one has boundaries." And yes, they will look around and go, "Oh, well, maybe I can find one who does all of this, but does." Oh crap! No, that one, he sets these boundaries too.
This is a game. In the large picture, women, the quantity, the in general. Millions of women, a bunch of them, or in mass, they're going to try and figure out, how do I manipulate a man into getting him to do what I want? Most of them are going to be successful. Like your Anita character, she will be successful. Nothing you can do about that. So what are we doing here? We're talking about it. And I just kind of went on a mock rant about what a man can do. I just gave the man the words and the thought to do it. So before this stream, there were 2 men who were able to do it. After they watch this stream, there'll be 3. That's the only impact I'm having. I saved 1 man. And I emboldened 1 man to make that change. And that's how we change the world. 1 man at a time.
That's a long way to go.
Well, if you're expecting a boil the ocean strategy to work, you're setting yourself up for failure and depression.
That's true. That's true.
Whoa, hold on. You don't understand math.
The cheek math.
Okay, you start out with 2 men. And over the course of a year, they recruit 2 other men to their way of thinking. Now you have 4. Oh, okay. In the next year, those 4 recruit 4 more. Now you have 8. The year after, those 8 recruit another 8. Now you have 16.
Mm-hmm.
Are you familiar with that Chinese story about the guy who said, yeah, for payment or whatever it was, 1 grain of rice on the first checker square, 2 on the second, and keep doubling it throughout? At the end, he had more rice than existed on the planet Earth. If it doubles, that is what? It's not geometrical. That's what's the word I'm looking for?
Yeah, this is an exponential.
Exponential. It's exponential growth. It seems slow at the beginning, but you can start an exponential growth, and you don't need to get to 100%. Like Plutarch said, you need to get to 5%.
Okay, based on what women are doing on social media right now, on TikTok, they are whining and complaining. Men are not vibing them up. Men are not committing. I think that the red pill guys have made a lot of progress just within the last decade or so. More men are becoming more aware, and I'm honestly glad to see that. I just wish there were more men who were aware. Like Tradcon seems, like they're the ones.
Don't be in such a hurry. Just say, wow, the change is amazing. And women are complaining more, so it's working.
Yeah,
and the more it works, and the more women complain, and the more men talk about it, it grows. Man, is it growing fast. If it keeps growing at this speed, pretty soon we got something real.
Yeah.
Well, it's Rollo was famous for like a decade saying, "Oh, you don't want the red pill to go mainstream." And then I think last year he said, "Yeah, the red pill's gone mainstream." That's Rollo saying, "Hey, look, we are now in the minds of enough men that we now constitute a mainstream opinion." Okay, these things, but here's the thing. What I'm saying with the boil the ocean strategy is, remember what I said. You need to get to 5%.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, a boil the ocean strategy says I need to get to 100%. No, you don't. A boil the ocean strategy of trying to convince all men to behave in this way, it's never going to work because there isn't an ocean to boil. It's 5. You get to 5%. It doesn't. It's not the overall number. The simps will always be with us, and they will always be with us in overwhelming numbers. And the women will always hate the simps in overwhelming numbers. Okay. It's not about the simps. It's about the 5% of men that women want. If women are forced to behave in the ways that the 5% of men they want demand, the women will get in line as if by magic.
Doesn't even matter if it's the 5% they want. It's the 5% they need. Doesn't have to be the top 5%. It could be second tier 5%. The women who are, or the men who are just good enough to settle for. Well, he's not quite Chad, but he's a solid man and a solid provider. Now, if those guys just say, not putting up with your shit. Oh, yeah. Yeah, you had fun on the carousel. Sorry, you disqualified yourself. I'm not putting up with that crap. It doesn't change. Women's behavior does not change immediately. And the women who have already gone too far, they're not going to be saved. It's the younger women coming up. And it's the talk among the older women that percolates down to the younger women. And you cannot fix what's broken. You can prevent the
younger women,
the new models from becoming broken. That should be our
well, okay, what are women doing now? Let's look at the effectiveness of it, okay, for the lack of the better term. So now we see a growing number of women shaming or criticizing the behavior of other women. They are all doing it in different ways. They have their own methods of how they do it. I have my way how I do it. And does that change the behavior of younger women? Or does the fact that the men who don't want to deal with women and who have standards, who don't want to wife up these whores, change the fact? Do you remember? I like your analogy about if I smile at a coffee shop and pay for coffee, will I get coffee? Yes, but what caused it? The smile or the fact that you paid for it?
So the analogy was shame. That's equivalent to the smile.
Yeah.
Force or some other thing, which is a behavior. The behavior, what you were willing to do caused it to happen, not your smile.
Exactly. So all
shaming didn't work.
Didn't work, yeah.
Taking action and paying for it did work.
Yeah. So no matter how much and how many women we see showing up who are willing to shame these whores, it's not going to be. I mean, nothing will stop them from doing it because this is how they are virtue signaling. Okay, this is how they point out, oh, look at me, I'm willing to shame those whores, but these are just words, and women, all they do is they talk. It's verbal. It's verbal shame.
What do women do when they feel shamed? If a society or a bunch of people like you are shaming them, will they feel some guilt? Yeah. Then what do? I know. I don't want to feel this guilt and this shame. Let's do a slut walk, and we will teach those men I can do whatever I want, and I can be proud of the things they're trying to shame me for.
Remember, there's gay pride parades.
Yeah, there are those too.
Well, that what Nick is giving is a concrete example of the concept that Steve's talking about. Here's the thing. All of what we're trying to do, red pill, leftists, at a high level, we are having an argument over the Overton window. And so these pride parades were a way of shifting the Overton window by normalizing this behavior.
Yeah.
Okay. What we in the red pill are doing is the same thing. Okay. We are normalizing men saying, no, I'm not going to give you that. No, you don't just get immediate access to shared account money. You don't, right? We are normalizing it. We're making it okay for men to say no to women. No, you can't have my resources just because you exist. Okay. And by doing that, we shift the Overton window back the other way. That's all that's going on here. But women are just kind of sitting here going, well, I guess the men are over here now. I guess I have to go over there. That's all that's happening. That's it.
Women go where men are, and they will start even shaming. They will start putting on these different masks. We talked about the red pill mask, all of the ThreadCon, LARPing, virtue signaling chicks who say what men say. How do they get attention? They just repeat some talking points that men have talked for multiple generations without reference to those men, just so that they get attention from those men, and also get simps. Because the more simps they get, the more independent they are from one man. And yeah, it's all about attention and increasing their options, you know?
You realize we already did a stream on pretty much this topic from a different perspective, that shame doesn't work? Do you know what that stream was?
I'm thinking of a couple of streams.
Okay.
Well, maybe the one that first came up to my mind was the mask she wears.
Nope, that wasn't your stream. I'm talking about your stream.
Oh, my stream. Okay.
The first letter starts with R. The second letter starts with R. The third letter starts with R.
I don't know.
Anybody else want to come to mind?
I don't know. I haven't been I don't think I was in that stream, so I don't remember.
Regret, repeat.
Oh, relapse. Yes.
Okay, the regret. Does that have to do with guilt and shame? Yes, it does. Does it change behavior? No, it doesn't.
Yeah, it just
she repeats it.
Yeah.
And then if she does a little a hiatus from that behavior and gets wifed up and has a family. Oh, you know what?
Well, and you know what? I was also thinking, okay, this women who criticize other women, they don't do it even to, well, they think that they are shaming women, that other women will watch it and then they will change their behavior. Maybe that's the motivation, one of the motivations that they have. But the reality is women don't watch. And I think somebody, I think it was Joker who did a video a long time ago from Better Bachelor. He said that they want to be the stars of their own movies. They don't want to watch another woman talking and educating them and, like sharing her wisdom or anything. No, the most, and I analyze the comment section and I see what kind of comments these women who criticize in any way, form, or shape other women, what kind of comments they get. They don't get comments from women. They get comments from simps. Oh, you are so base. You are so awesome. Like that chick that we criticized last time, that we called out as being a neo-feminist as an example, right? She's not the only one. There are a lot of women who do that. but the kinds of comments that she gets, they are not from women. They are coming from men who are simping for her.
Sure. That's why women in general who stumble across this stream, they started watching this stream today. Oh man, this makes me feel bad. I don't want to feel bad. I'm not going to watch anymore.
Yeah. I can only name a couple of women that will end on this hand, and that's it, who might be watching some of our content and not so much the longer live streams. Look, it just, women, they don't, I honestly think women are lacking humility to watch the streams that make them feel uncomfortable. That in a way maybe humiliate them, maybe involve some guilt, but without guilt, without that kind of humiliation, there is no humility. I think
why do women have to watch the streams though?
To have some humility? No. I mean, they don't have to watch it, and then they don't watch it.
What causes humility?
Huh?
What causes humility?
The harsh consequences.
Okay. So until there are harsh consequences, why would a woman care?
Yeah.
Why would a woman even think? Well, why would it enter her mind in any way, shape, or form to go out and seek this information and not run away from it because it hurts my feelings?
People all the time have all the information in their head about how the world works and fail to act on it.
Mm-hmm.
So a woman can have all this data. Oh yeah, that makes sense. But until some man imposes the consequences on her, or it could be society in general, but ultimately one woman finds one man, and that man becomes her leader, head of the household, and imposes consequences on her for her own good. He's a benevolent leader. Just like our government imposes laws on us for our own benefit. Yeah. I can't go on the interstate, even though there's no car ahead of me for 10 miles. I can't go 120 miles an hour. Why? Hey, I'm not hurting anybody. No, the law is the speed limit, which happens to be 80 in North Dakota, 85 in South Dakota, 75 in Minnesota. So I have to conform my behavior to those laws. Oh, yeah, I can go over a little bit, not by much. That's what men do to women. And it's necessary because if there are no consequences, people don't abide by the laws, men included.
Mm-hmm.
So, hey, you can say, oh, a husband shouldn't be able to impose consequences on his wife. Well, okay, I guess you're not Christian, because the Bible clearly says the husband is the head of the wife. And if he can't impose consequences, he might as well just get out of that relationship because it ain't a marriage.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Well, I think that they could say that, but the Bible doesn't say it explicitly. It only it doesn't specify how husbands are supposed to remain their authority. The best thing they can come up with, in their defense.
No, it does. That's that's just cope.
Sure.
So Tacticus asked a question here. Can humility be expressed as competition? As competition, no. Humility can be a competitive advantage. Okay. women who express humility are more likely to get the outcome they want. So a woman could use it to achieve her sexually competitive goals. But I don't know that there's a way to, the men have to come in and say, okay, one of the metrics I am evaluating you as a group of women by is your humility. And then they have to compete amongst themselves to see who can be the most humble.
They always compete amongst themselves.
Oh, well, right. Look, guys, the only thing that's required to take back power from the feminist blob is to recognize that women are endlessly competing amongst themselves, and that feminism itself is a mechanism for women to compete amongst themselves in different ways, but that's what it is. Women compete for sexual access.
Mm-hmm.
And
even if she's married, we've seen the examples of it. Last week, right? Okay, Toxic was here.
Okay. I meant women avoiding humility, claiming it's unfair competition. Will women say this? Oh, hell yes. The feminists say this all the time. In fact, if you go read the feminist and anti-feminist writings that were going back and forth, one of the claims that was made by the feminists is exactly this, that these women behaving this way make it more difficult for these progressive feminists to achieve their equalitarian dreams. Like that yes, that is explicit in their writings.
Yes. Oh, you're right. Now go away.
Right, exactly. And all that was required to avoid this entire timeline was for men to go, fascinating, but no.
Yeah.
Right. We didn't because it was a 100 years of relatively weak men who allowed all of this to happen. So yeah, we have to deal with the side effects of that now, and it is always less painful to deal with the problem early. And so there's going to be a huge amount of pain now on the part of both men and women. And I want to make something clear to the women here. As men, we don't enjoy doing this to you. This isn't fun. We don't revel in this like the feminists reveled in the destruction of men. Well, okay, there are some men who do revel in it. But as a whole, males do not revel in inflicting pain on women. We don't enjoy it at with the glee that women enjoy inflicting pain on men.
Yes, it's just a duty. It's a duty.
Yeah.
It is. Now, this does not mean that we won't do it. And this is something women fundamentally don't understand. Men will do things that they don't want to do. Men will do things that they don't like doing.
The boomers didn't do this. The Xers didn't do this.
No.
Right. Exactly.
Gen Z? I think Gen Z is getting...
Yeah. Well, here's the thing, though. And so, okay. Look, I was on Twitter a couple days ago, and I was talking about birth rates because that's a perennial topic I talk about. And I posted some data. This is the 2025 CDC birth rate data. All of the growth in the birth rate that we had, 100% of it came from women over the age of 40. Wow. Everyone loves to talk about, Zoomers this, Zoomers are going to save it. No. It's actually the disaffected millennials that are doing all of the work. It's Nick. It's me. It's women Elena's age. Okay. we want to venerate the young. It's so veneration of the young is actually a Marxist strategy. The communists realized that the path to victory was to win the minds of the young, and so there's this thought process that goes, aha, we just need to do that, but for our side. No, the young are retarded always, and that's why I in that data set I included the Gen Z women lean more left than millennial women do.
So the women are all Tim Waltzes?
Pretty much, actually. And the young ones. This is women age.
Caught the reference.
I did. So, but the point here is that it's not the women that matter, because I can show you the same chart that shows Gen Z men going hard right. Okay. And they are, but they're not far enough along the dating pipeline to have a large chunk of women, quote unquote, under their control. And I can hear the leftists reeing over my use of the word control here, but
and the Zoomers aren't really. Some want to do something about it. Maybe they will, but most of the at least the guys, they're just avoiding.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
This
yes.
is the hellscape.
They're
This is the
staying away.
hellscape that exists, and I'm just gonna navigate around it and don't want to touch it.
Well, the few women who I think I understand like why people tend to think that the Zoomers will be the solution, the Zoomer women who want families, who want children. What these women want doesn't matter. It's irrelevant. You can't have a family without men wifing you up. And where are the young men right now?
But you can. Okay. You can have a family without a woman or without a man wifing you up. You absolutely can. You can have a state enforced. Okay, so it's very simple. You fuck a guy, you get pregnant with him, you have the baby, and you get the state to enforce. The system has long been set up to support this, and that's why what Nick is saying is so important. The men are saying, no, we're not even going to do that. We're not even going to fuck you, because here's the thing.
And they're red pilled without knowing it.
Oh, totally. And here's the thing, and this was key to the data that I was trying to show. Men are not having sex with Gen Z men are not having sex with women at the highest rates we have data for. Okay. They are the least likely to have sex, period. And the full stop of any generation ever. So teen pregnancy has fallen off a cliff because the Gen Z men are like, no, not touching that. Okay. And so this is, and we've been talking about this a lot on our show. This is the end result of women trying to be defective men is the men go, yeah, we're just not interested in you at all.
Consequences. It's like I did leave a few posts on Twitter. I've been very, very busy on Twitter, guys.
Too busy. I need to take your phone away.
I didn't post anything yesterday. So, I was saying that all actions have consequences. What did we expect? Even the decent women, okay, let's give them the benefit of doubt. Maybe they want a family, maybe they want to have kids. They will pay the price for it too. It will touch everyone, even the decent women out there. And like, you have to have humility to realize that, you know what? It just happens to you, not maybe necessarily because you did some things wrong, but because it's a cumulative effect that was set long before you were born, and it is what it is right now. We are all paying the price for it.
Yes. Okay. Look, here's the deal. There is no version of this where you can individually, as in each individual woman, you can change it, individually change minds, and then magically cause the group to realize that it needs to change its mind. And this is another reason why shame doesn't work.
Yeah.
You can shame an individual person. That's not going to change the group's mind. At best, the best case scenario is you change one person's mind.
Well, and
Congratulations, there's a million more behind them.
I'm doing.
Well,
but
right.
You're right. I agree with you. It's not effective. It's not enough, you know. And
well, so this is why we don't try to. I don't care. This is why I keep saying I don't care what the women think.
Yeah,
it just doesn't matter.
You know who else is in agreement? The churches.
Oh, Steve.
Because the women come in. Are the churches trying to do anything to change the behavior of young women who they don't actually see? To change the circumstances of the women coming into the church? Or do they try and change the men, the minds of the men, to fix what the women previously did? Oh man, you should just accept these women and wife them up.
Yeah.
The church says, we're not even going to try changing women.
I think
we want men to change.
Okay, I think
and
everyone.
What do feminists want?
Okay,
they want men to change.
Cool your jets. Let him finish.
I'm
done. An idea. He just inspired me. You know, look, I did mention that idea in the notes actually, where everyone knows what women are today. Okay, everyone knows that women are promiscuous, entitled, delusional. I'm talking most women in general, right? It's safe to assume that they are all that. And the prescriptions, I think the prescriptions are different. So what red pill guys say to men, and there are different factions of red pill guys that are going to say slightly different things, but they agree on the description. Women are what they are, right? Even the church agrees. Even the Tretcons agree with that. The prescriptions are different from everyone. So some factions of the red pill, the PUA side, will say, well, fuck them, pump and dump them, boats and hoes, right? They are already promiscuous. You don't lose anything by sticking your dick into crazy, basically, right? Just protect yourself and you'll be fine.
Protect yourself. Okay, guys. You can't protect yourself from everything with these women. You still run the risk of certain STDs that are not emission dependent. Also, what happens if something malfunctions? What happens if something didn't go to plan? Oh, dang. She keeps it. Oh, you get something. Oh, just pump and dump them. Oh, you start developing feelings for a 304.
Well, it's most men. Okay, there are some men who will be able to pull it off, Nick. Okay, but these are not most men.
No,
most men will develop feelings for you.
Mindset, and I don't think that's a mindset you want to cultivate.
Yeah, I agree. I don't condone it. I'm just pointing out the fact that, okay, different prescriptions from different factions, even of the red pill.
Right,
then the married red pill, it's us, right? What do we say? The risk is not worth the reward.
Yeah, we're the married red pill, and we say don't do it. Okay,
don't do it.
Yeah, okay.
And if you do it, here's some steps you need to take.
Right. Yeah. Elena, you're getting wrapped up on your descriptor words. What was your point? You've lost it because you spent so many adjectives.
Making a broader. Okay, then we have Tretcons. What do Tretcons suggest?
You don't need to define everything. Just what's your point?
Ignore the red flags. Ignore the red flags. Wipe them up. You know, the point is that there is one objective truth there that we all agree on. But we don't agree on how we implement and what we choose to do with that.
No. They actually do disagree on the descriptors. We've done the videos on that. That's the whole fight is over the descriptors. We've done that. Okay. Until
church knows that women are promiscuous. Church knows what women are.
No. They are denying that reality. Okay, we agree that's real. The church denies that reality. The tradcons deny that reality. If a woman was promiscuous, it's not her fault because some predator man did something to her or some man seduced her. It's a man's fault. It's never her fault. Women are innocent.
They buy into her sub-story.
No, they're not. They're not
Elena,
buying into
Elena.
it. It's their firmly held reality. And if I give up on that reality, my whole world falls apart. So I cannot give up on this idea that it's women are good and men are bad. And because I'm not like other men, I'm a good man. And those damn other men who have destroyed the women, it's their fault. It's not the women. So I believe in the inherent goodness of women. So I just need to go out there and find this inherently good woman who has not been spoiled by other men.
Right. Yes.
It's a belief in the existence of unicorns.
Okay.
No, there are no unicorns.
Yeah.
There are only unicorns, so dirty unicorns and clean unicorns.
Look, Elena, if the tradcons honestly shared the belief in the descriptors, the same belief in the descriptors that the red pill has, if they believed us and they shared our descriptors, they would not be disagreeing with us about what to do.
Yes.
Okay. This is the problem. When everyone says, "Oh, I don't like this prescription," or "I don't like that one," what they're really trying to do is say, "Oh, well, I really don't believe you that description of the problem is correct, and therefore your prescription is wrong."
Yes, I understand that.
And it all comes down to
phone calls this morning about my work script post. They're clueless.
See, and it's the same thing. They have their reality. The reality they believe in doesn't have to be truly real, but that reality forms their identity. And if you destroy that reality by saying your descriptors are wrong, they lose their identity. It just destroys their whole world. So in spite of everything that you can say, you're wrong here, you're wrong here, you're wrong here, they will not give up on that because they will lose their identity if they do.
Then what is, horse are horse. This fact, do they agree at least that there is something wrong with women?
Well, sure. But that wasn't her fault. It was a bad man's fault who caused her.
Okay, yes.
Well, and I've met lots of them who are actually convinced that there really is nothing wrong with women. Now, again, that's changing slowly. Okay.
Yeah.
It is starting to seep into the church that maybe there really is something wrong with the women. But again, that is a broad scale Overton window move. That is a result of the red pill going mainstream. Now the church is being forced to confront some of these ugly truths. And one of their responses is Nala. Okay.
Nala is just embrace her.
No, Nala specifically is the church responding to the red pill going mainstream and saying, "Oh, well, we actually have an answer for this. We can reform the whore. We can take the whore and turn
Unicorn
her
factory.
We can take the whore and turn her into a good, godly woman." Right? So there's a very specific reason they do this. What they're trying to do is they're trying to say your descriptions are wrong because, see, we were able to change her. We, through the power of Christ, reformed this whore. So we have an answer for the red pill description.
We have the institutional authority to.
No, we have the answer. We have the answer.
And yes, She just needed Jesus. And so to the men, if you're in a troubled marriage, the answer is the same. You need to Jesus harder.
Oh,
I got a grumble from Nick.
And Jesus harder for whom? Like for a whore? Okay, reformed whore. I mean, like, seriously? What do men get out of, like, Jesus in harder?
more headache.
Does it work, Nick?
You become a beta if you Jesus. I'm not saying like it's bad to follow Christ. Sure, follow Christ, die to sin, live under God, become more sanctified by following Christ and obeying His commandments. But that doesn't mean, hey, every time she complains that you have to crumble in front of her and say, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm not worthy of you. You're my better half," and so on and so forth. You know, sometimes your decisions are correct, and then if they aren't, she needs to learn to submit to you. Stop groveling before her. Stop. What's it called? Stop letting her push your frame around. She's crossed the line, and you have not reinforced the line, but let her all the way through.
Okay, there's an example that Jesus had. He met the woman at the well. Yes. You have had 5 husbands, and you're living with the latest one. Uh-huh. Did he shame her? No, he called out reality.
Well, that's changed.
Says,
well, in my
go forth and sin no more. So, okay, that's an example of how to Jesus harder with a woman. Call out her sin. Don't argue with her about it. Say, this is it. Stop it. And then go on your way.
But are there any consequences if she doesn't stop?
Well, I mean, that woman wasn't his wife, but yes, in our modern world, the consequences are you don't shape up, I'm out of here. Women don't. They will try and deflect the shame and the guilt and actually project it onto you. That's why consequences are necessary, not to punish her, to save yourself. And remember, consequences and boundaries and ruling over her. He shall rule over her. Genesis 3:16. That's a good thing. It's not a bad thing.
Yeah.
So you can be the man who rules properly or not. I mean, that's your choice, but you're not doing it to take any glee out of imposing your consequences. Men don't want to do this. Guys, it's oh God, I just want my peace. I don't want to have to do this. No, you got to do it. Why? Because it's your duty.
I would go so far as to say, not only is it your duty, men, this more than anything else in our era is your highest duty. And this doesn't mean that you need to wife up a reformed whore for the express purpose of further reforming her, shall we say. Part of the reason that we advocate for men not getting married is the only way to convince women at scale to change is to apply consequence at scale. And not getting married, if as an entire group, is a way to apply the consequence of their misbehavior at scale.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's, we're not saying that we like that we have to say don't get married. What we're saying is the only way to fix the problems that we have at any scale that can achieve a solution before humanity runs out of the ability to regenerate its population is to apply these consequences at scale. And men are already doing it.
They're already doing it. Yeah, they collectively are checking out, even from dating. They just don't want to deal with these women.
Okay, the situation is dire. It is dire. We're at a critical stage. Birth rate is down. What do the years 2025 and 1738 have in common?
$1738. Are you talking about the Great Awakening?
You'll never get it.
Come on, Steve, tell us then.
The same number of babies were born in China, 1720 or 2025 as 1738, according to Lay's Real Talk. She's a commentator on.
You mean 2025 and 1738?
Yes, she says this year the number of babies that the Chinese government reported as being born is the same as it was 300 years ago, according to historical records.
That's not good.
Okay, now
no, it's not.
Plutarch, how bad is that?
How bad is that? Here's what that means. There are not 1.4 billion Chinese in China. Sorry, that's an automatic given. Okay. What that like means?
800 million.
Yeah, exactly. We'll just call that. We'll just say it's half of what they say it is. Okay. There is a point where your birth rates are so low that you cannot recover. And if that's the number, what she's actually saying is that China is going to go back to a population that looks like 1738. Because if that's the number of people you have, that is the civilization level you get.
Wow.
Higher level civilization requires more specialization. More specialization requires more people. Mm-hmm. Are we going to experience some retrenchment? Yes. Now, that my statement there is not an absolute. There is, we've figured out how to do a lot of things so we can maintain a higher level, but than we could if we had to figure it out. But we require linemen now to work on the electrical lines. We didn't have that in 1738. Electricity would be another 100 years, right? Okay, so now we need to dedicate a portion of our dwindling population to maintaining the grid. We will, because we can, but we will be giving up something else to do so. The Chinese are going to be giving up a whole lot of those something else's to go back to a 1738 population.
Do the men in China, are they effectively ruling their women?
No.
Okay, guys, you tradcons out there, the solution is not having more babies. This is where it's going. The solution is get the women under control. Guess what? The population issue will just sort itself out.
Mm-hmm.
Rapidly. If you get the women under control, your population numbers get fixed in less than 5 years. Okay, it doesn't take long.
You can't expect society to get the women under control. You can't expect the church to get the women under control. You cannot get women under control. The individual man, if you find a woman, the only thing you can do is get your woman under control.
I mean, I guess the laws could help men a little bit with that, to get women, not completely, but at least to push men and to say okay, you are not going to be,
okay, whatever.
Great
the laws,
if you do certain things with your,
Forget about that. The laws could help, but they won't. The laws reflect what's happening in society. Once men do this, the laws will follow. But it comes from men acting first. Don't wait for the laws to change. Okay, So it's back to what we were saying. Guys, you don't have to put up with these women. You don't have to get married. We understand you still may want a woman on a permanent basis. So, okay, fine, pursue that. But then it's your duty to rule over her in a benevolent way. Women left to themselves can make bad choices. Just look around you. And then when they make bad choices, they're going to go on slut walk. So no, you find a woman, and if she is governable, you can keep her. You need to, be the head, set boundaries. And if you can do that, fine. That's your primary goal. And if more and more men do this, then the population and the birth issue will sort itself out. But it's not at all productive to wife up a whore and have 3 kids.
Yeah, and then how can women help with that? I mean, like those red pill women or other women who are shaming other women. What can they do?
What can other women do to help?
Yeah.
Don't fight it.
Okay.
And I know that sounds simple and not very helpful, but think about it this way. If other women see you not fighting, they're going to go, oh, wow, there's women out here who agree with these guys. Oh, remember, women are fundamentally group creatures.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Another way to help is to say, women, women, the men, they're right. Women, the men, yeah, we should do what they say.
Here's a simple thing. Other women should be like Elena. What's she doing? Well, whatever. She's out here stirring shit here and there and trying to do good. But what's she doing today? She's on a stream with her husband, an old man who kind of sometimes acts like her father or disagrees with her, but really cares about her. And a young guy who is more like a brother to her. And she's getting all kinds of attention. We listen to her. We talk to her. Yeah, okay, we push back.
So you're saying that
she enjoys
all
it
kinds
so
of
much.
Attention, right, Steve? This is your advice for women. They're going to take it and they're going to run with it. I'm really trying to help you guys here. You're not helping yourself.
No, it's just the nature of women. I mean, it's not necessarily a bad thing. You just have to understand.
Don't you enjoy the attention of Saturday mornings?
Sure. But I'm also trying to help. I don't need I do enjoy talking to you guys, but I don't really need that attention, I'm
bullshit
fine.
On that.
Very bullshit.
No, I'm just trying to help and see what kind of message will help you guys.
Elena, we know you're a unicorn, but you're not that much of a unicorn.
Yeah, I know that I'm not. Oh,
you're
God,
still
come on. No.
Okay, Nick and I, are of great benefit to Plutarch because he knows Elena needs attention. This is like a family situation. It's a modern thing that a man and a woman get married and move far apart, away from family, and now he is stuck with her, and he has to try and meet all her needs and emotional and whatnot, and it's an almost impossible task. Whereas Plutarch has Nick and I who come in and challenge and talk to her, and hey, we spike her emotions, and she gets to experience all kinds of things, and it actually takes a burden off of him. Because if he had to try and manage this all by himself, it would be even a bigger task. Am I right?
Are you saying, oh God damn it, Steve, you have uncovered my evil plot to outsource my my attention giving requirements to other men? Because and I've said this before, guys, you know, all those men who think that they want to be polygamous and all of that, it's like, and here's the thing. Women require enormous amounts of attention to keep in line. You can't do that. You can't keep a woman in check when you've got 3 other women. Those women will gang up on you. Your frame will falter at some point, particularly in this modern feminist era where these women all work together behind the scenes anyway. Okay, so and here's the thing, the men know that, which is why all the guys pushing polygamy are all of them are universally they say to men like us who say it's really not a good idea, they say, oh, well, you're just weak. You're not strong enough. I am strong enough. To which I have to say, pride goeth before the fall, and you will fall. Because now people can say that, oh, well, you're just not strong enough. And Elena, and people do tell me, oh, you're a weak man, for saying that. It's like, okay, here, you take her for a week.
Hey guys, do you want to go work at a job where 75% of the workforce is women, and you're the man in there working among, there are 4 men working there and 12 women? Or do you want to go to a place where there are 11 other men and maybe 1 woman? Which will you find more peaceful? I know the answer to that.
Right. And that's the thing, as men that we, particularly the polygamous men, don't want to admit. They would much rather work with other men. And they will, and they'll do it. So the other thing I would say, though, is it's selfish.
Oy, sorry, guys.
Because you are going to, let's say you're in a polygamous relationship with 3 women. You have to work. You have to work a high-level job to provide for all these women. Women are expensive. You have to work this job to provide for 3 women. Okay. You're going to work, and then you are going to take care of 3 women very, very poorly. They are not going to be well-kept women. Not well-kept financially, not well-kept resources. They not well-kept in the physical or in the mental and emotional and spiritual spaces as well. They will be unruly. They'll be unruly.
Mm-hmm.
And now your 3 women become a societal problem. Okay. Now us as society have to put bounds and restraints and expend our energy restraining your women for you so that you can have this fantasy that you are a strong, powerful man who can.
Isn't it also kind of selfish?
That's what I was saying. Mm-hmm. No, the thing you missed is that it's feminism. See, feminism also believes that we should outsource these tasks to the government for both men and women. We need to outsource the restraint of men and women to the government. We need to outsource the provision of men and women, although mostly women, to the government, right? What a polygamist is saying is, aha, I recognize feminist game. I want that for myself. And then I get to have a bunch of women on the hook, so to speak. And society has to bear the cost. In finance, we have a saying: you privatize the profits and you socialize the losses. So this man gets the profits of having exclusive access to 3 women, but he can socialize the losses and the effort of having 3 women onto society. And so that makes it, yes, a fundamentally selfish thing. There are other impacts there too, in terms of now you have 3 men who can't get a woman because the ratio of men to women is roughly 50%.
Also, the women who keep the babies from these guys who, just spin plates, these kids' lives get destroyed too because they don't get.
Well, that goes back to socializing the losses. I covered that. You're socializing the losses, and when you're doing that, you are making and these men who are pretty low IQ, actually, it's a very Somalian way of thinking. And the reason I say that is because these men will go, but you were dumb enough to let me do it. And so because I could do it, I should do it. Because somebody showed me how to steal all the money from the government. You're stupid for letting me take all the money from the government. Okay. That is low IQ thinking, because what will eventually happen is like what's happening right now in Minnesota. There's an uprising of the population against you. Now, in the case of hogging women, you get shot by the men who can't get the women. That it's pitchforks and torches time.
Okay, let me take this a different direction. Has this in the Western civilization, has there been circumstances where a man has more than one woman?
Yes.
Hell yes. And it was always wealthy, self-made men, dominant men of industry. They had a wife and they had a mistress. And they paid for the mistress. And now, can you think what their life was like? Okay, you got to keep the wife happy because, that's your social standing. It might be somewhat common knowledge that you have a mistress, but your mistress is always begging for more time from you. And you're shelling out money to keep her. Yeah, you maybe even have a child with her, and that happened frequently. And the mistress is kind of basking in some of your status, but she is a woman with all her emotional needs. And then, you're not spending Christmas with her. You're spending it with the wife. Now she's going to be resentful. And so now you're managing the emotions of 2 women. Okay, now these were top-notch, very capable men with status and authority, and they could fling around money, and they had people on their payroll that made it work. And so now you, the average man, think you can do what this top-notch master of commerce can do? No, you're an hourly worker. He's the fucking CEO. Damn right he's got more talents than you. So don't think you can do what he's doing, and don't think that his life isn't really complicated.
Yeah. And those guys, most of them, something happens. The wife decides she's had enough of it. Or it gets too public for her. Something happens, and then all of a sudden the mistress has to be let go, to use the business terminology. So for women, being a mistress it's a boom bust. It's really great until the day it's not, and then it really sucks because you've got nothing else. So Tacticus, even government is never enough. Absolutely true. When we are forced to create systems to socialize these losses, no system can ever be efficient enough. So we socialize the losses of a man having 3 women that he really can't take care of but thinks he can. Okay, but it takes more energy and effort out of the system than it would if those women were each individually with one man, and we had to socialize, and those men were taking care of those women. Government action is 90% waste, pure waste, right? So you have to put in 10 times the resources to socialize the losses. And you can look around at any time in history. The big bank bailouts in 2009. Okay. We poured trillions into that. And what did we get for it? Well, the system didn't collapse, but that's about all you can say about it. The cost to the taxpayer was astounding. Okay. To the point that people today are saying, you will not do this again. We can't afford this again. Okay. So it's kind of, you can only socialize the losses for so long before you run out of other people's resources to socialize the losses with. And that is also true. That is true for money, just as it is for polygamous relationships. Eventually, only so much outsourcing can be done before the rest of society goes, yeah, you're the problem. We're going to lynch you now. We're going to remove you from life now, because we can no longer bear the cost of your losses.
Now you're starting to get to where the boomers don't want to understand reality.
Correct.
This is a present situation we're actually having to face, and right now they have the easy option to leave. And at our cost. If we really want to be economical about it, there's a very fast, effective, and economic model. Which I don't want to have. I don't think we want to have to go down that route, but it may become necessary at a certain point. Oh, yeah.
What path is that, Nick?
Well, you have invaders. You're being depopulated by non-Americans who believe in magic dirt. They're going to conquer. If they win, we will. It's us versus them. Put it that way. They don't believe in the America that our founders worked for, that our ancestors came here to build. Generally Christian America with certain moral principles, etc. No, they come in and they import all their false gods, their moral degeneracy, and their scam tactics. They're a burden on the system. They take American jobs away. They threaten your existence. And if they amass enough numbers, you'll have a repeat of South Africa and Rhodesia.
Can I speak on behalf of all boomers here, Nick? I don't give a shit about that. I have my money invested in U.S. industry. And we need this cheap labor coming in so the corporations can make money. And so my portfolio does not fall. And you dumb Z millennial person, don't you know I have my man in the White House? Yes, I have my money invested in my house. Yeah, I know you can't afford it. Okay. My man is going to change the rules. So instead of a 30-year mortgage, you can get a 50-year mortgage. So therefore, I can sell my house. I don't have to take a loss on it. And yes, it burdens the young people. I don't give a shit. I want my money. I don't have to pass it on as an inheritance. I want to go on cruises. I want to live my final years in peace and comfort. And I'm in control. So just suck it up, you young people. You don't work hard enough anyway. You didn't work as hard as I did when I was your age. So it's your fault.
Pretty much, yeah.
You know what the response is of the young people is? Fuck you, boomer.
Fuck you. Mm-hmm.
Night of the pillows can't come quick enough.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want all boomers to die. My dad's a boomer. He's actually a really good dude. But, well, okay, here's the thing, though. Here's a fun fact about the boomers. They're already dying. Yeah. Something like, doing math in my head, something like 20% of them are already dead.
Well, who are the dumb? Who are the boomers are probably the most gullible in taking the booster. Not only did they get the what's he call it, the
clot shot.
Yeah, but then they get all the boosters too.
Yeah. Right. So it's like in some regards, the boomers' problem is a self-limiting problem. Okay. Again, I don't want bad things to happen to them. I really don't. I don't think that that's going to be a useful thing. Although, and in part because they are removing themselves from humanity already naturally. Part of, and I could do a whole show on this, part of the boomer zeitgeist is that they were going to be the generation that finally solved death with technology. And a lot of what you're seeing now is their final cry against the inexorable hand of death. But that's...
They were also going to solve poverty once and for all.
Yes.
But also look these guys. All of these immigrants, right, come. Who invites them? It's the women. So boomers couldn't keep their women in check. And then they basically suggest younger men to do the same and suck it up and deal with the consequences that they created for everyone.
Of course. Because that's the boomer belief system. Their entire worldview is based around this. Steve gave you the monologue of the boomer belief system already.
I need to clip it, Steve.
Did I capture it well?
Pretty well.
Okay.
Right. So, and here's the thing, Elena. At any point, have we suggested that shame would work on a boomer?
No.
Steve, you are a boomer. Yeah. Would us young upstart whelps shaming you work on you?
No, I've dealt with enough. I got my money, whatever it is. Hey, you know what?
You don't care.
Not gonna work. No, I'm not the typical boomer.
Yeah, you know.
But no. I mean, we know, every one of us know this from personal experience. Dad, I'm having a hard time here. I need some help for my benefit and my family's benefit and for future children and all that. And I need some help financially, whatnot. Can you do that? Nope. You're on your own. I'm paraphrasing, but I've had that experience. Okay, I'm a boomer, but you know, I had that experience from my dad, who was born in 1935. So okay, he's older than a boomer, but in certain ways, every one of us have had that modern experience from our father, who didn't really understand this legacy and stewardship thing.
Well, they don't even do it for women. Look, Steve, I'm going to give shout out to our friend Shah. This is Shah YouTube channel, who talks about dowry a lot, and they don't even take care of their daughters. They just say, well, okay, go get this useless college degree. You are on your own. You get married, right? Find another sucker who will wife you up, right? And like I can understand what women are going through. Like there is a lot of pressure on women there as well. Like I've been watching a lot of content by women, mostly for my Anita series, but like it's not without a reason, right? They say like there is so much pressure. They're expected to work. They expected.
Let me outline in agreement and just lay this out. A father who has a daughter, she is your legacy. She is a path to grandchildren for propagation of the human race. So it's not, you don't invest in your daughter's education primarily, you invest in her offspring. Therefore, it's important for you to have for her to be wifed up by a good man. So you need to evaluate that man, because that man and your daughter are going to create the legacy. And now you need to put some money in here because it's a stewardship issue. You need to help him out to get established so they can have a viable existence and have the money to have kids. Plus, in a legacy manner, you need to give that man your blessing. You have the authority now. It's a God-given authority over your children. And you need to give that authority to your daughter's husband. And yes, this is historical. That's a wedding ceremony where you walk your daughter up the aisle. Who gives this woman? The father gives the woman. That's a transfer of authority. He takes her hand, puts it on his son-in-law's hand. Now he is the authority. That's the passing of the legacy. So you need to invest in your legacy, in your stewardship. And part of that is the dowry.
Dowry, yeah. So I can see a lot of women, and look, they have these standards for men, right? Again, we live in a gynocentric society where women set up standards for man, right? Man is supposed to perform, he's supposed to do all of that, but also society imposes certain rules and boundaries on male behavior, not so much on female, right? And then they're like, well, but why do I even need to bring dowry? Because he's supposed to wife me up the way I am. He's supposed to take me with all of my baggage, with like my useless degree, my huge student loan, right? He's supposed to do all of those things for me. You know, when in reality, their fathers, they didn't establish the authority in the family. They didn't prepare the dowry for her. They didn't think about it. And I'm not trying to say like she's not at fault there either for her own stupid choices that she made, but it just comes from like generation to generation. And when parents are so oblivious and ignorant and they are so hyper focused on themselves, they don't think about their kids' legacy. They don't think about their kids' future.
So what do you think? Back to the original topic. Will shaming work?
No, I know it doesn't. But it won't stop me from shaming sometimes.
It's so much fun.
I don't know. It's fun, but it's also like when you trigger like one woman. I do it on individual level. Like when I trigger her, like her wheels start spinning. Sometimes I want to think that maybe she will do something about it. Maybe not. But also other women, I got some comments from a couple of women who were reluctant to say certain things to a woman to her face, you know, and they were like, wow, you know, we also think the same, but we are not comfortable expressing it, you know. So yeah. I don't know, it just like, you know, it's not going to change the mountains. It's not going to be effective without.
You know what it's going to do, Elena?
What?
Gets her spinning faster. That little hamster wheel in her brain, you're providing energy. It's going to spin faster and faster. That's called the rationalization hamster.
Oh. Okay.
And now it gets spinning so fast that rationalization hamster is going to come up with new ways to project the blame on someone else and avoid accountability.
Yeah, that's true.
Which is why shame doesn't work. Because the rationalization hamster does not exist to improve women's outcomes. It exists to justify current and future behaviors that they want to do. Right?
Mm-hmm.
It's that rationalization is a synonym for justification.
Well, but what would
justify
you say?
my actions for
me. Historically, and I remember even my grandma, she was saying this to us, and it's not even deep history, okay? But men could ask their mothers or sisters to help them with their wives, okay? And then these women could tell them what they think about the possible wife, right? Or a girlfriend, and say, well, she's a good woman, or no, she's not a good woman. Is that helpful for men?
I mean, to find, like, yeah, but it doesn't. Yes, but not much. Here's the thing. How many times have you listened to men say, well, I want this in a woman? The men know what the men know. The men don't get any help from women going around saying, yeah, this is what a good woman is. This one. Look, we know a whore is a whore. We know a slut's a slut, right? Like, we know. And women tell themselves that we can't figure it out.
But I don't care what you'd say about her, because she touched my pee-pee.
Sure. And there's lots of, there's
a
always
lot of people. I wonder what the destruction down the PUA route is for that one.
Well, right. Well, or the simp route, right? Okay. Yeah, and Elena hates this argument because she doesn't, I've made it to her privately. She knows where I'm going to go with this. Yes, women are always going to get bailed out. Okay. This isn't about making sure that the whores are appropriately punished with enforced nunnery. Okay. Because that ain't going to happen. Okay. Yeah. What you can do, though, is we can take away the high value men that the whores want. And we can teach those men what a good woman looks like.
Okay, but in that case, I agree 100% with you. Now, will these men listen to other men, or will they listen to women?
The ones that the women want will listen to other men. Well, again, this is a self-selection problem.
Yes. Okay. I see.
And any man who listens to other women, that's a shit test, guys. It's a shit test. You are self-identifying as someone a woman doesn't want when you do that. Okay? So the cool thing about this is it really is a situation where the men who women want will just rise to the top of the stack by their own behavior, regardless of what the women want. Okay? The women can't help themselves but be this way.
Right? So all of this LARPing and virtue signaling on social media
is noise.
The men who simp for them, these are the men that these women don't want.
Okay. Yes. Okay. Yes. Name one case that you name any case where a simp has been in the comments section and she goes and publicly announces that she's now fucking the simp. When has that ever happened?
Not publicly, but maybe. No, it depends on how much money. I mean,
like, maybe look, it could happen.
It could happen, but she will never talk about
it. Steve, maybe we don't know. It could happen. We just don't know. Yeah. By the way, that is the exact type of thinking that women do when Myron pulls out the female delusion calculator and says, you have 0.1% chance. And the woman goes, yeah, but
I have a shot.
Right?
Well, I'm a woman after all. What do you expect me to do?
By the way, there's a whole movie about exactly this phenomenon. Okay. And in fact, when my construction there, but there's a chance actually comes from this movie. It's called Dumb and Dumber, about two clinically retarded men. And one of the characters says, this woman is describing how very politely describing how he doesn't have a chance with her at all. And but she's being polite about it. And so the language she uses leaves like this little bit of hope, and what does he do? He looks at her and he goes, but there's a chance.
Oh my god.
Okay, right. All women think this way, even you. And that's why we did what we did right now, is because you're saying, but there's a chance that maybe somewhere in history this strategy works.
Okay, guys. Okay, in crisis, she will fuck a simp, for the money if he pays you. I mean, there are circumstances under which she might do it. I'm not saying that she definitely did it.
You're
but it can happen if women are desperate.
The assumption here is, to a woman, sex is a valuable thing. Most of the time, no, not really.
Yeah,
I mean, it's so trivial. Yeah. It's so trivial to a woman when she's in her unattached phase that, yes, she'll give it to the Chad. Oh, yeah, okay. Oh, this guy's, he met my feelings. Yeah, okay, I'll spread my legs for him.
Yeah, it's like...
And it means nothing.
Nothing.
Sex means nothing. But then once she finds the guy that she wants, okay, now she revalues the access to sex, and now she puts the price high to get him to behave.
Mm-hmm.
But her past experiences, she never valued it back then.
Never valued, like,
and so yes, simps can get laid, and it means nothing.
Well, and look, if they didn't, they probably would quit simping, because they are not being fucked as much as the alpha chads, of course, but they still get fucked. This is why they keep doing it, because it's like literally a sign of insanity of doing, like, why there are so many simps then. Some of them get lucky sometimes,
Yes, we got a term for this.
What is it?
pity fuck.
Yeah, well, yeah. Pity fuck. Yeah. They get pity fucked.
Okay. Yeah, they do. Okay. That strategy, it's a low simp strategy is a low IQ strategy that relies on a large casting a very large net. Okay. You have to shoot your shot at all the OF girls on the theory that one of them will, as Steve says, pity fuck.
Or you could go into the woke women, the protest women, and you can try a sneaky fucker game. You might get a pity fuck done.
Yeah, that can work. But again, you're going to have to shoot a lot of shots because you're going into hostile territory, right? You know, these are women who are predisposed to hate men, so they're not going to want to. You're going to.
But do you think simps don't hate men? They hate men too. They hate
I don't think
themselves.
simps care. I don't think simps.
This is why they don't. If a woman hates, she says she hates. Oh yeah, whatever you say, baby. As long as you fuck me.
Well, yes, there's lots of men who are going to say, again, you keep running back to this idea that you're going to solve the problem of simps. Give it up. You are not going to solve the problem of simps. Simps have been with us since the dawn of time. They will be with us till the ends of the universe, or at least the human race, whichever comes first. And that is all it shall ever be.
Hey, Nick.
Yeah.
What did Jesus say about the poor?
You always have them with you, but not me, basically.
Can we use that same analogy? The poor will always be with us. The simps will always be with us. The whores will always be with us. You cannot solve the situation. You cannot do a war on poverty and solve poverty. You can't do a war on simps and solve simpery. You can't do a war on whores and solve whoredom. They will always be with us.
Just in time, Steve. Oh, that was Providence there.
Ah, yes. Speak the name of the simp, and the simp shall appear.
I hope he was just trolling to prove a point.
Probably.
I hope so too.
Yeah, we can only hope. But guys, I have to say this. As her husband, no, I don't think so.
Yeah.
We're literally just talking about it.
Well, see, the thing is, Elena doesn't get a lot of simps because most people know that she's married, and we don't make any effort to hide it. And Rolo's talked about that. Rolo and the Red Pill guys have talked about this. The reason why the boyfriends are never on the profiles of these women is because these women are selling the hope of getting access to them, to their simp army. It's you keep them on the hook and you keep them sending money, because as long as that boyfriend is out of sight, he's out of mind. This is an IQ time preference thing. The simp does not see the boyfriend directly in front of them on their screen, and so they go, aha, she's not with a boyfriend right now, so therefore she's not with her boyfriend, therefore I have a chance.
Yeah, there is definitely some truth to that, but I also see women who show their boyfriends and show their husbands, and then men still don't care. Seems don't care because the other man validates the other man validates
man. I'm better than him.
Yes.
I still got a chance.
I think actually, in fact, now it's even switching. I would say that the women who show their husbands, who use their husbands as props to build their simp army, right? Like, look at me, I've been picked by this man and he's with me and I'm loyal to him and we have such a wonderful family with babies and all of that. It's just virtue signaling. Why do you even need to bring up your husband when you know that, like, you are married? Like, why do you need to virtue signal?
To entice evil men who look at him and say, yeah, he's not that great. He probably doesn't curl your toes. I could do that.
Mm-hmm. Well, and the comment section, like, I do analyze content. I do spend quite some time on social media, guys. And I see what kind of comments these women get, even the married ones with kids. Like, oh my gosh, you think that this showing a man and kids would stop these sims? No, women have figured out a new grift. They are just using their simpy husbands who don't mind being on camera pets. Okay, I'll play along with you.
Elena, calm down. Yes, the simps will shoot their shot at married women, but you haven't spent any time on the corners of Instagram where OF models hang out. Okay, you think the simping is bad for you think the simping is bad for married women? It is 1,000 times worse over in the OF corners.
I have no doubt in that. I don't watch that content because
most simps recognize that if she's married, she's not going to pay them any attention. That is why Rollo says no. That this is why they don't put their boyfriends on there. Okay. You can make a lot more money by not showing your boyfriend or husband than by showing it. Yes, I understand that some women do it and the simps still show up. You're doing the meme right now, and please, you're saying, yeah, Nick knows what I'm referring to. You're pointing to what we call a tail of the bell curve and saying, but this exists, and I'm saying, yeah, but the median is really over here. Yes, it exists. It is not the majority. It is not even close to it is not even close to a number of that matters to the grand scheme.
I know that it doesn't matter to the great scheme of things. I'm just saying that married women still get attention from these sims, and the sims, when they realize who OnlyFans chicks are, they are hoping that they will find a wife, a loyal, compliant unicorn, which she virtue signals to him by showing her husband. And I'm not worried about like what OnlyFans girls are doing. They are going to get that attention regardless. The married women, they are still trying to get attention from sims by virtue signaling that, look, I'm a wife material here. And then these sims line themselves up because, okay, if she's loyal to this one, she should be loyal to me.
No. You are ascribing way too much thought to the simp behavior. Okay, way too much rational thinking to that behavior. No. The simps, it's very simple. The simps see family. The simps want family. They say, this chick does family. I want family. Therefore, I go after this chick. You're reading way too much into their behavior.
Can I
say, like they want a family and they hope that like they can have a family too.
Can I quash this in a much more simple way?
Please do, Steve.
We already talked about this. We don't give a shit what the women do. We don't give a shit what the simps do. All we are doing is providing some information for a few men to understand how to deal with it. And those few men will assert their dominance. They will look to God. They will be men of principle who say, I'm not putting up with this shit. The rest of the world can do whatever they want. The simps will always be with us. The whores will always be with us. The activity and the circumstances that you're talking about that just irks the hell out of you Why do these whores get to benefit? Why don't they have to feel the consequences of their behavior? They don't. They never will. Stop worrying about them. We are just providing information for the few, very few men who can hear it. Shaming will not work. Only men acting according to principles, in imposing boundaries, in being good men, good leaders. That's the only thing that'll work. And it's only a handful that can do it.
Mm-hmm.
But that handful, we need to grow it from a very small number. And then it'll be not so small number. Then it'll be still a small number. That's all we're doing. And then meanwhile, these whores are going to keep getting wifed up. They're going to keep having kids. The simp army is going to keep simping for these women. The church is going to keep saying, oh, you men need to come up and wife up these women. All that shit is going to happen. There's nothing we can do about it.
Well, the frustrating part is that for women, for, let's say, decent women out there, okay? A few decent women. The horse will get wifed up. The horse will get bailed out. The horse will get what they want, more or less, okay? The women who actually want to have families and children won't.
Oh,
but
bullshit.
They will be lucky. But they
Bullshit.
will be lucky if they are wifed up by decent men with principles and, you know.
Oh, no.
Well, like those men that the horse want, you know, because the horse will have kids with the simps, maybe.
No. We don't care about the simps.
Yeah, I know that you don't care about the simps.
Just be quiet. The man that we are educating will have the knowledge. And now they're going to be able to sift the wheat from the chaff, the whores from the decent women. And they're gonna start to see, oh, she's flashing boobies. Yes, those boobies are great. But so what? And he's gonna be able to discern and find the good women. And so if there are more men, good men, who understand this stuff, you know, you got to just count on the providence of God that more good men mean there's more good men for the decent women. So are the decent women better off when there are more good, decent men? Well, obviously, yes. Mm-hmm. So, you know what? It's a slow thing. You may not see the end of this in your lifetime. I'm certainly not going to see it the end of this in my lifetime. This is a multi-generational recovery. We're at the bleeding edge. We're just going to see a small impact. Don't expect to make a big impact. And you know what? Just leave the world a little bit better tomorrow than it was today by what you're doing. And, you know, do that over years. And then when you die, hopefully just think that you left the world a better place. And if you live your whole life and you helped out one person to become a better person and is part of the solution, you won. Don't expect to do big things in life. Do little things and do them well.
Yeah, ladies don't have high expectations, even if you are decent.
Oh, so you're asking a woman not to be a woman.
No, I mean,
Thank you,
how
Nick.
about this is the reality that's coming? Okay, like more and more men are becoming
Yeah, they
aware.
don't care
Are
about
checking
reality.
out. They're checking out from the dating market. They don't want to
Yes.
wife up women. They don't want to have kids with women.
Yes.
Partly
Yes.
because of
Yes.
the laws against men.
Sure.
So
Yes.
a decent man wives you up, be grateful and be happy, and it might mean that you're never going to have kids. Even if you want to have kids, you may never have
Which,
kids.
by the way, guys, this whole topic is about. Elena is big mad. I've been dealing with this for a month.
No,
Okay,
I'm
behind the
just trying.
scenes.
I'm just trying to say that you're still
Yeah.
likely
No,
that
you're big mad.
a man.
You're
You
big
at least
mad.
got a man. So many screeching whores on Instagram and on TikTok.
Big
I'm
mad
not
over.
going to
Big
get
mad in
it.
the corner up there. Is
Okay, let me explain this. Because I'm not being critical at all. This is just just female nature.
Mhm.
Elena's a good woman. I mean, I love Elena as a father loves a daughter. Okay. I mean, I truly enjoy her. But okay, she's been a pretty good woman. Her past is not colored like a lot of these women. She made mostly the right choices. Okay, no one makes all the right choices. I didn't make all the right choices. No one is perfect. But okay, she's pretty damn good, okay? So she gets married to Plutarch. And they, he's a wise man who looks at what's going on, understands the world, and he doesn't want kids. But she agrees, but damn, she's still got this biological urge to have children. Okay, all natural, all fine. And then, okay,
Yep.
and she did all the right things. She married this guy and she's faithful to him and all that. And then she looks over there and there's a whore over there who was promiscuous and did all these nasty things. And then she married a simp and he gave her 2 kids. And damn, she got rewarded with kids and she did all the wrong things. And I'm big pissed because I did the right things, but I don't have kids. So I'm really pissed off at that promiscuous, worthless whore who got kids, and it's wrong, and I want her punished, and I want this to end.
Are we wrong? Is Steve wrong?
No, not entirely. But
Not entirely. I think he's nailed it 100%.
And hey, I didn't say that.
I just want consequences for women. Okay, I want consequences for female bad decisions.
There is consequences. Lots of them. TikTok and Instagram are overflowing with women yelling into their cameras about how they aren't getting what they want out of men. And what is it? Men need to do better. Men need to man up. Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, I see that.
The consequences
but then,
are there.
Meanwhile, they get kids, and then the kids' lives are destroyed.
But are these? What do these women do?
Yeah, there are consequences, but at what cost?
Yeah, exactly. At what cost? Socializing the losses comes at grievous costs.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's just the way it is. These women who have everything you say you want, and I believe you want it, I really do. Look at what they're doing. These women are the women who get what they want are destroying their relationships at record rates. Okay.
Yeah, true.
Like they go on Twitter and Instagram and TikTok and they say these absolutely horrible things about, they couch it in men in general, but they're really talking about their husband. In theory, husband, right? Mm-hmm. Like, these men are not living these great lives, and these women are not some beautiful examples. Yeah. I get it on Instagram. They have all the right pictures, and all the right angles. But this is not something that you should be striving for. These women are horrible creatures to these men. Okay. And sooner or later, we see it. This is in the divorce rates. The relationship blows up, and now you have children out of this who are getting destroyed. And I mean, not just physically, emotionally, and spiritually destroyed.
You want to be like my first wife, who I think had an abortion back in 1979.
Mm-hmm.
Then she went on, finished her degree. She found a young, nice guy engineer, me, who wifed her up, approaching 30. Okay, no, she couldn't have kids. Nope. So we adopted. But no, I was the one who went over to Korea and brought the kids back because I think the guilt was too much and she couldn't see the nursery where all the young babies were and these young women who had nothing and who did that. It would be painful. So anyway, kids come back, and then she throws me under the bus and accuses me of nasty things, and then keeps me from the children. So now she's got the children. She raises them without a father, and she has all these problems with raising the kids. And to my knowledge, the youngest daughter is still living at home with her. And okay, now she's 3 years older than me, so 66. Okay, or my second wife, who, yes, she, wasn't completely promiscuous in her 20s, but she got a college degree in England and had a couple boyfriends over there. For whatever reason, that didn't work. She moves back here, she gets on SSRIs, and she marries a guy in California. Probably wasn't a smart move. She has a kid with him, but somehow the daughter was born like 6-8 weeks premature and has all kinds of development problems. Who knows? That marriage probably wasn't great. There could have been some reason for that. The younger daughter is wicked smart, beautiful, spitting image of her mother, but somehow doesn't look like the older daughter. And the marriage wasn't great. Could there be this chance of a different father? Yeah, maybe. And then she finds me, and then we get married, and, I raised the kids with her for 10 years. And then, the problems of the past come back, and, the oldest daughter doesn't want to do anything, and I'm saying, you should get your license. You should driver's license. You should get your GED. But this creates turmoil. So therefore, I am the problem. And she contrived some story where I made some inappropriate comment to her daughter 9 years previously, so she can divorce me, and then keep cash and prizes. But then, she didn't really have a job and she never really worked. So now she's got to get a job and work. And okay, I don't know where the hell she moved to now. Or we could be like Nick's wife, ex, who, she was young and we don't know her past, but there's some signs that it might have not been as innocent as it was. She marries Nick. And she's a good Christian woman. They have 7 kids. Meanwhile, the only time Nick got sex is supposedly when she got pregnant. The rest of the time she denies him. And then she's a feminist who knows more about the Bible and Christianity. Her father was an elder. Remember that. Nick has a pastoral, he's got a degree, became a pastor. He went to school for that, but yet she knows more about Christianity. And then she decides, he's a misogynist. He's a patriarchal. He's got these nasty ideas. She divorces him. So now she's independent, and Nick is giving her money. She's living independently with 7 kids. She won the lottery, didn't she? But no, she's got to raise these 7 kids on herself by herself. And then she gets a boyfriend on the side. But, well, maybe not, maybe on the main. And so she revels the time that she can offload the kids onto Nick. But at the same time, she resists that. And now, what's her future? Oh, yeah. The life of these women who get kids is so much more wonderful than your life. Let me tell you about it.
No, I'm not saying that the life of single mothers is more wonderful. I'm talking about the married women actually who show their husbands they're together. You know, he treats her like a princess. Let's say he's a total simp, but
Don't you get it?
She
the
gets
married women are the future divorced single women.
Yeah, I understand. I can see that. I can see that.
Yeah. You a hard thing for anybody to accept is that the world doesn't really work how we think it works. These women thought that they were going to build this perfect system of government whereby no matter what happens, no matter what choice a woman makes, she will have a cushiony soft landing. Everything will be taken care of. She will get everything that she desires. Women literally tried to legislate into being their perfect boyfriend. They literally tried to create out of government their perfect boyfriend, okay? And their perfect husband.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Nick, yes. Okay. And it hasn't worked yet. Okay. And so, you know, you're talking about the married women. The married women are trying to do the same thing. They're trying to legislate the perfect husband. And when he doesn't meet that, she's gone. Okay? Just you are spending so much time looking at the now. Okay, when these women get divorced, are they still posting pictures, happy pictures with their kids and husband? No, they're not. The whole tone of their Instagram feed changes radically. All of a sudden, it becomes about destroying the man. The man becomes
well,
evil.
yes, some of them will still keep using their kids. I've seen a few. Okay,
sure.
I've seen a few families where, you know, she was first posting her pictures and videos with your husband and kids, decent family, right? And then it has become all about kids, just posting kids. She doesn't talk much about what happens in that relationship. Maybe something happened, but the husband doesn't show up anymore. You know?
Okay. Yep. Yeah. What does that tell you about that relationship?
It's not as good. Something is going on there. It's
not. Alana sees the happily ever after, where her ideals exist in the happily ever after right now. You can have the happily ever after, and these women do have it, and they fuck it up. And then the happily ever after was a facade, and these women never ever achieve the happily ever after.
Well, here's the thing. Why do you think they're putting so much energy into posting their kids? That's a question. Why do you think they're doing that?
Attention.
Yeah,
that's part of it. That's part of it.
Yeah, it's part of it. I think he's headed into something.
Because things are not good.
Not good, yeah.
Social media. Or go ahead, Nick.
So you'll notice I'll give you the trend. Okay. Pictures of her and her boyfriend. Then all these pictures of her and her ring that she got. Then massive, massive, expensive wedding. And that stuff smeared all over the internet. Then you get a few pictures of the honeymoon. And then the pictures kind of start dying off until the kids. And then you'll see, then just imagine all these pictures where the husband slowly fades further and further back into the background and into nothing at all.
The social media is the greatest. It was like an antimatter bomb for women. Okay, that's how. I'm trying to think of the most destructive force I can come up with in physics. There's actually there is a more destructive force than an antimatter bomb, but it would be hard to explain. Okay, so but anyway, like, because you look at the pictures of these people on Instagram and you go, but they have what I want. No, they don't. The pictures are cover. The pictures are that woman trying to signal something that she doesn't actually have. She's trying to make you believe that she has it so that you give her attention.
She is a star of her own fantasy.
Yeah.
She's posting those as snapshots to construct a false persona of what she has. Her reality is way the hell different than that. Every person lives in reality. But women project this persona, this false idea of what they have, because they truly want to convince themselves that they're happy, but they're not. And they are the star, not their husband. They are not a supporting character. They are the lead character.
Elena, okay, I'm gonna do a side-by-side example. Okay, if I were to show you a picture of a happy, smiling family, husband, wife, 3 kids, okay, what do you see when you see that? You, Elena, see happy, smiling family with 3 kids.
No, I actually don't see that, but okay, that's not the only thing I see.
Well, okay. No, but based on the direction you've gone today with this, that is what you see. That you see a woman, you see a family that looks happy, and you say, "I want that." You. There's a picture of a happy family on Instagram, and you see happy family. Okay.
No, I see that she's using her family and
that's an orthogonal. That's an
clouds and attention.
No. Yes, you see that, but that's an add-on. What you see, because in order for that orthogonal add-on to be true, it has to be a happy family. The happy family is a pre-existing requirement.
Wait a minute. Could be both. Yes, she's probably a whore, and she got this happy ending, and that makes me even more pissed off. So I don't see her as being a good woman. She got what I want, even though she's not a worthy woman.
Well, okay. You are looking at it. Okay, go ahead.
No, okay. My point was, you look at that picture, you see a happy whore who got what she wants. I'm gonna mix in Steve there. Okay, you see the happy whore who got what she wanted, who got everything. Okay, I don't see that when I look at that picture. Okay, I see 3 children who have a 50% chance of having their lives destroyed. I see a man who has a 10% chance of starting a shotgun 10 years from now.
Wow. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. You and I see very different things when we look at these pictures. But this is why I say that social media is an antimatter bomb for women, because you see the picture and you go, "Oh my God, the women got this." No.
Okay, guys, you are using me as an example.
Yes,
I'm not the only woman who sees,
we know
these pictures.
That's well. This is why I'm saying social media is an antimatter bomb against women. Okay, and it's against all women, because women see the picture of the happy whore that got the family, and they're like, "Oh, I can be a whore and get the family too." Right? They don't see all. Women don't think about everything that's going on behind that picture.
I can see that your kid's life will be
they're
destroyed.
Not thinking. Women
you know?
don't see everything behind the picture. Okay, they don't see that man as a plow horse. They don't see that woman being an absolute raging bitch to the guy. They don't see those children who are feral. Right? She probably had to spend half an hour getting those children to calm down for 30 seconds to take a picture.
They don't see the
I got
man
stories
who has
for you.
Nick has been denied sex for the past 3 years, except for maybe once or twice a year. They don't see the man who's working his ass off 50 hours a week and buying, struggling to pay for the, oh, yes, his wife wants a new car. It's $40,000. Yeah, I guess we can afford it. For the home renovations and all this shit. And he's not getting sex. You don't see when the man comes home and says, okay, kid, that's not going to happen. And she rushes in and says, oh, you're making him feel bad. You don't see all that shit. And okay, basically in a nutshell, you see the now. The man sees the future, the probabilities, and so much more. You just see the picture. Happily ever after. And the man says, and men say, oh, based on what society's going on, fuck,
no, I can
got big risk.
Guys, I can see those things too. It's thanks to talking to you and being
okay. Yeah, you can see them because we've trained you to. We can see.
I've been trained.
You've been trained. However, that is not how you emotionally react to them. Okay. You remember, guys, basic psychology. Your rational brain is still putting its boots on by the time your emotional brain has already reached a conclusion. Okay. Your emotional brain is halfway around the world and your rational brain is still lacing up its tennis shoes. Okay. And so that's what we are talking about here, is that disconnect between, yes, you've been trained to see it and you can see it, but you still desperately want to believe that you too can have that emotional feeling of having the perfect family with 3 kids in front of the Christmas tree and all the lights and the perfect lighting. And isn't it so beautiful? Yeah, you do.
Why can she see it? Plutarch imposed boundaries, held her feet to the fire. Look at this.
We can't really hear you, Steve.
Yeah.
He held her feet to the fire and says, look at this. He had boundaries. You're going to look at this. You're going to understand this. It was his frame that created that. But her nature is to disregard it. So she can do it, but it's the boundary factor that keeps her in line and made her the woman she is. And she's a great woman. But she's a woman. All women think this way. There's nothing wrong with her.
Nope. Nothing wrong with her.
Normal, natural.
Yep.
And so whenever you're having a conversation with a woman and you're talking about something, because we started out talking about shame. But look how this has drilled down to what the core issue is going on with Elena. Everything she said today is really kind of a proxy and relates to this thing that she's got in her mind. Normal human desire to have children. It colors everything that, okay, this is normal, this is natural, nothing wrong going on here. But you got to understand, when your woman's talking things, she's feeling something else and it's not conscious.
Correct.
And you got to keep talking through it and hear her emotions. And then you're going to spiral around and eventually maybe you'll get to the core issue. She doesn't have a fucking clue what the core issue is when she starts talking.
Well, Elena actually does, because we've gone around this a lot, and
yeah,
she doesn't like talking about this. It's why she doesn't look very happy up there. And I'm not trying to do this to her intentionally. But the problem is, at the end of the day, as the man, I have to say, this is what we're doing and this is what we're not doing. And this is why we're not doing that thing. And the reality is, I can list off all of the reasons why not having children is a good idea. It won't change a single mind one way or the other, and it won't change her mind, because this is a perfectly natural rational drive for women. And so take this idea that women have perfectly natural, normal emotional responses to things, to anything, to seeing the picture of the whore, the happy whore, right? Like, women see that and they think they feel, oh, I want that. I want to feel like her. And you're telling me I can be the whore and still have this, and I don't have to do anything. And yeah,
no, it's not quite what I've been thinking.
No, I know. I'm trying to take this off you for a second.
General, like in general.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah. This is what. Yeah.
Right. Okay. You as a guy, when you're interacting with a woman, you have to understand that her emotions have already reached I'm going to use this phrase. It's an inartful phrase. An optimal outcome. Her emotions have already built the optimal outcome before the first word ever leaves her mouth.
Mm-hmm.
And it's you can generally predict what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Each woman is an individual. And that's what Elena's trying to say. Yeah, you kind of got it, but not exactly. Here's how I'm thinking. And
sure. Yeah.
Then you listen to her. Okay, I got it close. We're narrowing in. Now, what do I have wrong?
Right. I was going after I was trying to extract a general principle out of this specific conversation. So going the other way, which is what you have to do when you're trying to teach people how to do things. Because the goal here really is not to pick on Elena. We've made our choices.
I know, guys. I don't.
No, we're not picking on her. All of us really like Elena. She's a good woman. She's
also very tired.
Yeah, I'm just tired.
And she's got normal female desires. Nothing wrong here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And
also, it's coming back to our conversation that I had with Plutarch. You can do all of the right things, and then
what? Your microphone muted there.
Yeah. You can do all of the right things, right? You Steve did, Nick did, right? And then bad things can still happen to you.
Yeah.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
But okay. Now here's the thing, though, and because Elena's asked me this question, and I've answered it for her, but I want to answer it for the rest of the world. Okay. Because Elena's question is okay, if I did so much right and better than these other whores out here, I didn't sleep around with dozens of men, I didn't have children out of wedlock, I haven't divorced and become a single mom, why can't I get that good? Why can't I get that outcome that those women get, the happy whore with children outcome? I mean, it's trite to say it's trite to say that, well, good things or bad things happen to good people and good things happen to bad people. It's true, but it's trite, because the reality is, for all of the good things that happen to those people, some pretty heinous things happen to them too.
Yeah.
Okay. Elena has not suffered the indignity of having to be a single mom. Elena has not suffered the indignity of 50 men. Okay. She has not suffered the consequences of doing those things. So yeah, her life might not have reached the absolute pinnacle of I did everything right, so I should get everything that is owed to somebody who did everything right. But her life trajectory has also been far more stable and secure than the women who do decide to get divorced with kids and become single mommies and all of that. There was another TikTok going viral last night of one, and then she just slips in, oh yeah, I chose to leave him. Like, these women are they telling themselves, but she's crying in her car about how, it's another one of those, they're taking away the welfare ones. And it's just like another woman crying about not getting taken care of as to the level that she thought Big Daddy government was going to take care of her. Elena has not suffered through any of that. Elena eats good food. She has a warm house to live in. She has she can do pretty much whatever she wants within limits. She has not had to go through the indignities of having to figure out how to pay her credit card bill. Nope, that's all offloaded onto me. She doesn't think about money at all. She's aware that it exists, and she has access to some, but she doesn't have to think about it. All of these things, all of these traumas that these women have had to go through for their own decision, Elena hasn't had to go through, but you'll never see it on Instagram. Okay? You don't see this on Instagram. You don't see this on Twitter. You don't see this on Facebook or TikTok. Okay? I mean, you can kind of see.
Saying social media does not show reality?
Quite a bit. Okay? Social media doesn't show the world Elena's reality. And the other thing is, when humans are living in their reality, they always think that another person's projected reality is better than theirs. It's the grass is always greener on the other side of the fence syndrome, right?
So you're never happy with the choices that you make.
This is something that I've been working with Elena on. Every choice you make, you regret in life.
Yeah, that's true.
Every single choice you make, you will regret not taking the other path. Okay? As you guys know, I'm a pilot. For a while, I was thinking, I'm going to go work in the airlines. Do I regret not going and working for the airlines? Hell to the yes. I love flying. I love, just being up there. It's quiet. There's a rigor to it. You are in command of your own fate. It's gorgeous up there. But I also wouldn't trade it for the world, because if I make it my job, it turns into a job. Yeah, I get paid to do it, but instead I can rent and I can go up and I can choose to point my nose at the sunset and just watch for half an hour.
Oh, you also know that the fact that you're not a commercial pilot, it's not your fault. You did all the right things. It just happens that when you graduated and were ready to embark on that, there was an economic downturn and that door was closed to you. It's not your fault. Okay, women always think about, well, I did all the right things and then this happened. It's not my fault, but I should still have it. Well,
yeah, true.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Whereas man says, okay, a lot of men say, well, I tried this. Then when it came, that door was closed. So, okay.
On to the next thing.
Now I need to figure out something else. And yeah, that other path would have been great. But now I'm on this path. So, okay. I can think about that other path, but I'm not going to dwell and construct my life around being a victim because it wasn't my fault.
Here's the second half of of this construction that I used on Elena. I said, okay. So let's say I decide to push through and be an airline pilot. I would not have met my first wife.
That'd be a good thing. Maybe.
That would be a good thing, right? That sounds like a good thing. But Steve, if I hadn't met my first wife, I would not have met Elena.
True.
Okay.
If you wouldn't have met your first life, you wouldn't have learned those essential lessons that made you the man you are today. And do you like who you are today?
Yeah, I do. I'm not perfect. God knows I'm not perfect. But looking back at my life, even the bad decisions have worked out for the, to quote the Bible, worked out for the glory of God, right? Like, I had to go through that trial with my first wife, but then I get this cute Russian girl. That's the backside of that story, right? That's the second half of the story. Okay, so if I had forged ahead and tried to bash through that door of being an airline pilot, I would have never met my first wife, and there's no way I would have met Elena at all. Mm-hmm. Wouldn't have happened. Couldn't have happened. Okay, it was getting divorced from my first wife that caused me to go out and seek my second. I would not have done that. I would not have been able to handle Elena at all without learning those lessons. This would have been a shit show, guys.
Yeah.
Okay. Elena would have been totally uninterested in me because she doesn't do simps, guys. She does not do simps. She hates them.
Are you saying Russian women take special skills to manage?
I'm saying all women take special skills to manage. Russians. She's actually really kind of fun because Russians are very direct people. They will just tell you straight up.
Mm-hmm.
And they actually mean it when they say it. It's kind of cool. Okay, so all of this stuff. So do I regret not going and becoming an airline pilot? Absolutely. But I also don't regret it. Other great things in life happened instead.
Well, and I think it's maybe in a way it's somewhat, I'm not saying it's easier, but men are just more mentally equipped to dealing with this because they usually, for their
we have no choice.
Like you have no choice, but
to do this, we have no choice but to be this way.
And it's the consequences that you guys are experiencing. Like you have harsher consequences for women. Okay, ladies, you don't pop up kids by the age of 30. Now we have medical advancements. You can give birth up until you have your cycle, right? And the medical system will be there to support you. And the data proves it. Like we looked at the data earlier. Who gives birth now? Like 40-year-old ladies?
40 to 45, 40 to 44.
This is old. Like the complications that these kids might have, the health complications associated
all
with
true.
it. And then they don't care. They still like, oh, well, I can still produce a baby.
And they can. And it's
and
true.
It kind of gives the false illusion to women that, okay, I can have a cake and eat it too. I can build my career. I can do all of those things. I can go around. And then when I'm 40, I'm finally going to have kids with the right man.
Okay. But so the mistake that's being made here is you're assuming that there's one right outcome. Okay. No. Notice how in order to get to I end up with Elena, there was a whole path. There was a lot of different decisions that went there. There was pain to get there. Mm-hmm. Now I had a pretty easy first divorce because I was able to do a business type buyout deal with her, but I still had to learn a lot about myself and about dealing with women. And frankly, that the last year of my first marriage is where I really started to reject a lot of what the church teaches men about dealing with women. It's because of my trials there. It's part of the reason I speak so strongly about it.
And I'll say this, men don't reject the crap of this false reality that modern church Christianity imposes on men. They don't reject the falsehood until the consequences become bad and it falls apart. And hey, I did all that shit you were asking me to do and it failed. Therefore, let me think about this. What's really going on here? I must have some false assumptions here. So you go back and you test your reality that you previously held and say, yeah, that's not true. That's not true. That's not true. And then you can reject Christianity because
some guys do.
It was wrong, and some people do. Or you can say, yeah, they've twisted this. But if I go back to real Christianity and I go back to the Bible and I go back to the tradition of Catholic Church, Presbyterian Church, they knew these things. It's in the Bible.
What were we just talking about on Wednesday?
William Gouge wrote about this. And all these, and the saints wrote about this. It's there. They rejected this shit. Now I'm I'm fired up. But no, I can still be a Christian and be a red pill guy and understand these truths. And those people over there who are promoting this false reality, they are rejecting the descriptors of the real nature of men and women when those descriptors are actually outlined in the Bible.
Yep.
Nick has something to say here.
Go ahead, Nick.
Yeah. So, modern Christianity. That's where you think all these women are sugar, spice, and everything nice, and that none of these women are really whores. It was just a bad man that did them wrong somewhere. And we just got to save all these 304s. We'll just baptize them and put them up on the screen and parade them around and tell them that, hey, you could be a good woman pastor, speaker, teacher. You can have kids, but you don't have to be a stay-at-home mom. And these rules are all kind of fudgeable because you're a woman. And men, you just need to support them. So that's happy wife, happy life. Don't ever correct her. Don't ever, expect her to acknowledge you as the head of your house. And you only really have to follow after your husband if he tells you what you want. Okay, so this is modern cuckianity, and a lot of people don't like the red pill because they see reality does not conform to all their fantasy projection. And by the way, that reality is plainly described in the scriptures, and the reality is plainly demonstrated in the light of nature, which scripture also talks about. Consider that part of natural law. Things that you can see with your eyes, you can kind of connect the dots, make logical deductions, inductions, study it throughout time. It's verifiable, okay? And the scriptures teach about it. Church fathers talk about it. Catholic Church talks about it, and not so much the current one, but throughout history. And the reformers and Presbyterians and Lutherans, they all know this stuff. They talked about it and they understood it.
So, Nick, doesn't church also promote? I could be mistaken. I think that they also promote stay-at-home moms if they want. So women don't really mind. These are the neo-feminists. They don't mind being stay-at-home moms as long as they get taken care of, and then they can do whatever crap they want to do on social media, they can still preside. So they can be a stay-at-home mom. A man pays for everything, right? He takes care of you and the kids, and then she's still presiding. Like, she goes to church, she's quoting the Bible publicly, right? She's
okay. Do you think this relationship's still going to last any better than the overtly broken anti-order relationships?
No, I don't think so. But they want men to keep complying with these women. You know, they want men to sacrifice their frame and wife up these whores.
Nick, what does the Bible say about a religion built on lies?
I can't save you. I
Right.
mean, it's built on sand. It'll be great
The
to
house
fall
built
thereof.
on sand.
House built on sand.
Right. It doesn't matter which version of sand the church is using to build its house on. The divorce rate hasn't gone down. Divorce rate's stable, same as it always was. Okay. So these women, they're thinking, oh, well, if I just put on the trad wife clothes and, do some things that are, nominally that look Instagram good, right?
Mm-hmm.
If I just do some things that look good on Instagram for the trad community, then everything will be okay. How is that any different than what was going on before? Because the data says the outcomes are not changing.
Yeah.
Cosplay will make your life better.
Right. These women aren't
Michael
having
Knowles
better out.
Daily Wire playbook.
The Daily Wire playbook. Right. The outcomes aren't changing. It's not getting better. It isn't working. And we are going to have to go through a period of the next few years of women trying to do this cosplay thing, this trad wife cosplay, and then finding out that it doesn't work. Nothing changed. Nothing got better. And of course, Nick, I'm glad you brought up the Daily Wire. The Daily Wire crowd, they're going to have a whole long treatise, multiple streams about what's really going on here and about how it's all men's fault.
Uh-huh.
Okay. And then, because they already have the cause. For them, the cause is predetermined. They just have to figure out what narrative structure they need to plug that cause into whatever's happening. And they cannot recognize that thing that they want to blame it on is the only thing that can fix it.
Mm-hmm.
What happens in war? No, real war. Let's just look at the U.S. when it entered the war against Germany. Do technological advances happen? Do great advancements in weaponry? Do civilizations put their greatest minds towards greater methods and strategies? And is science advanced greatly? Yes, we develop a new thing. They develop a new thing. They're working on this. We're working on that. Okay, well, we are at war in our society. Men and women are at war right now.
Not only that,
the whole thing is upset. So men are saying, no, going my own way. Mm-hmm. No, I'm not buying this. Women are upping, they're making innovations. Oh, I can manipulate this way to entice some of these men. And the churches are coming in. Yes, you men need to wife up these women. And the men are also developing a greater idea of what's going on, a greater understanding. The men are becoming more resilient but the opposition is becoming more enticing and insistent.
Yes.
So the war on both sides is gaining knowledge on both sides, whatever side you're
I mean,
on,
the Tretcons,
the good or the bad side. And you know what? That's up for you to determine. But both sides are advancing.
I think the Tretcons could make it easier for themselves by trying to change the laws in men's favor. I mean, like, they could try, right? And say, like, okay, we want men to wife up this horse, but you gentlemen get the automatic custody. You don't owe your alimony and child support, you know?
Yeah.
That would make marriage less risky, a little less risky.
Yes. Here's the conclusion I've come to, Alana. Nothing productive happens proactively. Anywhere, anytime, just does not happen. Proactive measures never happen.
Yes. Bingo.
Every change is done by force or desperation.
And usually desperation.
And you know what? If they actually did it proactively, women could have a better.
No. Actually, there's a. It's almost like physics. Okay, the consequence has to happen. The consequences have to get so bad that people want to change. The number of people that I can walk up to and have a rational conversation and then convince them to fundamentally change how they run their lives is vanishingly small. I have done it. I have seen it happen. It is like it's like heaven opened up and rays of sunshine fell down because it's so rare.
Okay, darling, then watch this. If women actually wanted to change the laws in men's favor, they could reduce some consequences for themselves.
But they don't. Yeah. You know, you're absolutely right. True. Yes. That's my point. The number of people who can look ahead and say, oh, I need to stop doing this now because the consequences will be worse if I don't, is vanishingly small. You're talking about less than 5% of the population is even mentally capable of doing that.
Well, you know what? Some women call me misogynist, or even seems they call me misogynist on Twitter for saying the things that I'm saying. But at the same time, it's like I'm looking out for the outcomes and actually the reduction of harsh consequences for women.
But it goes back to what Steve said. It goes back to what Steve said. You cannot change this proactively.
I know.
You have to let the consequences happen.
I absolutely could change the course of the world if I made 2 or 3 changes. And the outcome would be entirely different. And if, yeah, great. It's not going to happen that way. If I went out and convinced all the Christians to form this coalition to go in and change the marriage laws and outlaw no-fault divorce and give fathers the primary custody, everything would change. True. But my if is based on an impossible thing.
Exactly.
Society doesn't change that way. You don't proactively change. It has to get so damn bad that there's no other choice. And therefore, government, this reveals government does not hold ultimate choice. Individuals hold ultimate choice by their choices of behavior. By men saying, I'm not signing up for this farce of modern marriage, which is not marriage at all. I'm not doing it. I'm not giving away my power. God doesn't want me to give away my power. I have dominion. I'm the head of the household. And if this contract takes away my power, it's really anti-civilization, anti-logos, anti-God. It's even anti-marriage.
Yeah.
Because I cannot fulfill my duty under these laws. So I'm just going to stand back and let things get so bad till it has to change. Because, if I tried to go in here, wife up a woman, whatever kind of woman, and have kids, and then train them up right to keep this society going, because it's my job to, fight this population collapse. And then I'm going to raise good Christian, Orthodox, traditional, Catholic, Presbyterian, fill in the blank.
Well,
and then we're going to take back the church.
Mhm.
We're going to impose just solid teaching. And we're going to change the world and make America great again. What? Okay, you might as well give it up and go smoke another bowl.
Well, okay, Dylan, just quickly here. It's cultural inertia. Why? Okay, tretcons, they don't.
Cultural inertia is you still can't. All of this comes back
resistance. It's resistance to changing established cultural
that's
norms
normal.
or
That's
behaviors, and they don't want. They're not going to.
Inertia is inertia. You can't stop it.
Yeah.
Okay. The answer, Steve actually just answered the question. Okay. Why shame doesn't work? Because shame is an attempt to proactively change behavior before you make the mistake of doing that thing. And that's why it doesn't work. Will it work on a few women? Oh, yes, it will. If women as groups decide to shame women for behaving this way, then fewer women will. But that doesn't stop them all. And a lot of them actually just hide what they're doing so that people don't know that that's what they're doing.
So in that case, it can actually damage, because then men won't see.
Women, a lot of these so-called women have, some women, they can have one set of friends that they're their holy rollers, they're their good Christian women. Then they can have another set of friends that the other friends don't really know about. There are whores.
Yes. Right. And what you really need is just a critical mass of women out there who do tell other women, no, what you're doing is shameful. That's not shaming them. I mean, it's kind of shaming them, but really you're saying, well, what you're doing is a bad idea. And they do that, but they don't. You remember, one of the primary axioms that we live by is you do not attack the man, you attack the idea. Okay. And that's what you're doing. What you're saying is, well, this is shameful behavior. Okay. Whoring around is shameful behavior. And by doing that, you give other women permission to say, yeah, you're right. That really is kind of shameful behavior. And then other women go, yeah, that really was. And okay, I want to give permission to ideas and concepts. I don't care about the individuals involved.
Hey, Plutarch, you brought up something.
I can't hear you again, Steve.
You brought up something, and the engineer mind in me says, that's it. You're talking about social inertia. Okay, just inertia. What changes inertia? What's required? Oh, holy shit. What's their concept about? Inertia, social inertia. What changes it? Force. The cheerleaders or the naysayers on the sideline saying, you shouldn't do that. Don't keep going that way. Does that change anything?
Nope.
Or is it only the force that stops the movement and reverses it?
Right. Yeah. It's only other men standing up to women and saying, you're a shameful whore. We want nothing to do with you. And then not having anything to do with them. Okay. Honestly, one of the reasons why Fresh and Fit and whatever, they still do their thing where they bring the people on or the women on, but you don't really see them anymore at the way you did, is because they gave permission to men. Their purpose is complete. They have completed the mission that they can achieve by bringing whores on and outing them. Now, an entire generation of men is going, yeah, you're right. We don't have to do anything with these women. And they're not doing anything with them. Mm-hmm. Okay. The marriage rates, the birth rates, the Tinder usage rates, all the data says that no one, that men are interacting romantically with women at the lowest levels since we started measuring. Okay. And the tradcons are beside themselves with anger that happened. The reason that they hate the red pill so much is because we gave men permission to not deal with the whore at all. Remember, the church wants you to deal with the reformed whore, mm-hmm. right? And we gave permission to say, nah, she's a whore. You don't have to. And even in the red pill, we say, nah, she's a whore for recreational use only.
Yeah, only. Yeah.
Right. The church is just beside themselves at that. Okay. That's why they hate us so much. But the reality is, it is, and we talked about this a few episodes ago on the Resurgence. If you go read the Bible, it was the Apostle Paul, correct, who said, I would rather you be like me, but if you can't, then get married. The Apostle Paul did not consider marriage the primary end of men, the primary goal of men. Think about that for a second. The church has denied this. One of the apostles, one of the men who spoke with Jesus himself, they don't talk about these words anymore because the church is trying to sell something else. Okay.
Well, they're not even selling real marriage. That's the problem.
Right. Yeah, exactly. So is marriage a good thing as defined in the Bible? Yes, it is. Do we practice that? No, we don't.
No, exactly.
Right. So then you pull out the Apostle Paul and you say, well, the Apostle Paul here says that it is better to not be married, that he would rather you be like him, unmarried. But if you, to control your passions, need an outlet for that, okay, get married. Well, okay. And he was talking married in the traditional actual sense, not this modern nonsense the church does.
And so now you have a group of angry men. They say that I would have gotten married if it wasn't, if it was actual marriage.
Yes.
And a lot of them don't have the skill to be, celibate, right? Or, able to control themselves. Like they're not a monk, right? Most people aren't.
Correct.
So they're stuck in a rock and a hard place.
Yes.
Sure. Now, bringing this
inertia much, guys.
I kind of revealed a little bit of my thoughts about the Catholic. Now I want to bring it back to general Christianity. We know from Ephesians 5, it compares marriage, the relationship of the man and the wife, to Christ and the church. So has marriage changed with the way we worship? In the late 60s, after Vatican II, the Mass changed. Yeah. The priest used to face the high altar. We have this new Mass. Okay, abolish Latin or change Latin to the vernacular. But the church, now the priest faces the people. And now, as time has progressed, we have women who come up and read the Gospels. That used to always be men. We have female altar servers. We have female extraordinary ministers of Holy Communion. Okay, well, that's on the Catholic side. Okay, fine. You're not Catholic. Fine. On the Protestant side, what has happened since the 60s? Do we have women preachers now? Are women taking a much larger role in the church? In the old Presbyterian church, were the women allowed to perform the roles of men, Nick? Were they?
Not until they went liberal in the 20th century.
Oh, would it have been somewhere in the 60s that it became prevalent? 60s, 70s?
It started a little before then, but yeah, it exploded then. Yeah. It was, the whole
Okay,
thing was stopped
so
at that time.
if the way we lex orandi, lex credendi, the rule of prayer is the rule of belief, something like that. The way we behave is the way we think. So if the way we worship God changes, the way men and women relate changes. This whole equality in the worship has elevated women up to somewhat of equality or equivalency with the man. And therefore, the churches, by doing this, it has lessened the male's headship in the family, because the male's headship in the way we worship God has been diminished by elevating the woman up to almost equivalent basis. And in some churches, she is absolutely, totally equivalent, because there are women priests, or I don't know what they call them, priests in the Anglican church, pastors. And now the Archbishop of Canterbury is a woman. So you raise women to equality, and women will gain superiority. And what the hell does this say about marriage? Hey, it's our modern marriage. It is our modern marriage. So can you practice traditional Christianity in most churches? No. Can you practice traditional marriage in most places? No, because there is no more traditional church. Oh, yes. Okay. On the Catholic side, you can go to the old Latin Mass, the Tridentine Mass. And yes, you're going to get some of that. But you're still immersed in the society that has this false equivalency. And I would say a lot of those trad Catholics are LARPing, or it's cosplay. And the women are still ruling the roost at home, even though they have this facade of traditionalism. Now, is the same kind of thing happening in various places in the Protestant world?
Sure. Yes.
Yes.
So. Well, Tacticus earlier today left a good comment here. Jeremiah, are they ashamed of their detestable conduct? No, they have no shame at all. They do not even know how to blush.
Oh, right. Nick's going to soon read Isaiah 3.
Yes.
No, I'm going to do that today. I'm not. Yeah.
Well,
so they will fall among. Okay, here. Sorry, this is the continuation. So they will fall among the fallen, and yeah, women don't see when women don't.
No, they don't.
Shame as shame. They don't even know what a shameful behavior is.
Humans, just it's all humans. It's all humans. Just accept that, okay? It's all humans. That's all it is. Shame doesn't work because you cannot proactively alter the trajectory of humanity. Things have to. And okay, so this is the.
Sorry, I finished your thought for you.
Yeah. This is the unstoppable force meets the immovable object. So Steve was talking about inertia, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. With enough force, I could proactively step in front of the the thing, stop it, and reverse it. But that is a ton of force. And when things aren't bad, you don't have permission to use that kind of force. Okay? The reason things need to get bad is because the worse things are, the more permissive you become with force. People actually start to demand that you use force. Okay? So, right. So we are currently tipping over in this society where things are getting bad enough where people are starting to ask for force. We're not to the point yet where we can change things without executing overwhelming force that people would recoil against. They don't hurt that much yet. Things have to get worse.
Yeah.
Still.
So
go ahead, Nick.
So I put a Facebook post up last night, and all my boomer family is freaking out, calling me. What does this mean? It was I said, in light of these present troubles, troubles referring to what happened in Northern Ireland. Things are starting to accelerate, and nothing we're doing stopping anything. And so I put a video to Sabaton with Rourke's Drift, and it had the scenes from the Zulu movie with the red coats, just and they're all freaking out like, you don't understand. You don't understand where society is going, and the only possible solution to many of our problems, I'm sorry, is force. And it's good. I hope it doesn't end up in having to be overwhelming force situation like that, but it could be.
Well, what we are here's what we're trying for. Minimum necessary force. Okay? We acknowledge we're going to have to use force. Minimum necessary force is actually a phrase I picked up from my dad. Just shout out to the dads out there. Okay? Because if we start now, minimum necessary force does not mean no force. And minimum necessary force can include up to unlimited force. If things require so much force that I have to throw every erg of energy I have into that force, then that's what I have to do. But I don't want to do that until I have to, because the more force I throw into it, the higher the penalties are, not just for them, but for me as the person exercising the force.
That's silly. Minimum necessary source. The word minimum has no meaning there.
I know.
It's necessary
force.
Okay, it could be maximum necessary force. It could. Okay, then whatever force is required is what's required. There is no minimum maximum here. It's whatever's necessary.
I agree, and I tried to get my dad to see that. I'm working on him.
I know what you mean. I kind of understand. Oh, we only want to do the minimum that's necessary because we don't want to hurt feelings and whatnot. Okay.
We're not even applying minimum necessary
hold
force
on.
right now.
Whatever's required is required.
Exactly.
Nick, I agree. We are not applying minimum force, necessary force right now. My point there was really more to say something along the lines of we are not sitting here going, we are not going to maximal possible force right away.
Oh,
because
no, they probably never will.
Right. There are severe consequences to
nature.
doing that. And as men, we are trying to avoid those consequences. It's a kind of a poem, I think. It's called "The Men Who Want to Be Left Alone." And I think I've shared that before. But it's actually about this, because there is a point where you use so much force that not only are you killing the problem, but you have to, in order to use that amount of force, you have to kill yourself too. Not physically, but kind of like you have to kill a part of your soul to do it. And men are not we are highly reluctant to go that far because we understand just how much that cost is. However, there are moments in history, about every 100 years, where such force becomes necessary that men must make that sacrifice. Sometimes it is a true physical sacrifice. They die for it. But for the majority of them, it's actually not. They lose a piece of their soul to that war. So what we're saying is that shame isn't enough because shame isn't force. Shame doesn't work because shame isn't force. If you are in a society that is already functioning well, shame can be a corrective tool for outliers with bad behavior. Okay.
Okay.
But it requires all the other forces behind the shame. Okay. The threat, let me rephrase it. It requires the threat of those forces behind the shame. If there's no threat of force behind it, then the people you're shaming will just laugh at you.
Well, it's not just threat, it's the actual execution upon, because there will be women who will push their,
right.
then
So
they will have to be punished. They will have to serve as an example to other women.
We have a justice system that occasionally executes the people under the death penalty for particularly egregious crimes. That is a demonstration of the willingness to use force. Okay. That is a signal to everyone else who's thinking about it. This might not end well, but that only works if you have the society and civilizational structures to support that.
Okay.
We don't have that right now.
Let's do a thought experiment here. We have a lot of women, white women, protesting in Minneapolis. Just as a thought experiment. If we rounded them all up and brought in a whole bunch of men, and every man, one woman, we lined them up, and each man gave all these rebellious women a bare ass spanking and sent them home. And that's the end of it. Could it work? Is it? Oh, I kind of like this idea. Okay, it's just a thought experiment. Is it going to happen? Oh no!
Well, you know what, Steve? I think
we can't do that.
I think it could work if we were in a different social order. If we were under patriarchy, yeah, I think it would work.
Okay, Elena. Now think through the think through the next logical step here, though, because the next logical step is when you're in that system, you don't have to, because you don't have the problem.
Yeah, right. You won't have the problem.
Right. So the only reason we have to do this is because the problem was allowed to grow to the point where we have to do this. If we were in such a system where we could use shame and these lesser tools, then we would not have the problem to begin with.
Exactly.
So we are not in a situation where universal spanking of women will be allowed. So that would be maximal use of force. Well, we can't do that.
And this would require...
Even though secretly, many of us would say, that'd be a good idea. Yeah. I'd like to see that.
I would like to see that too. Like men don't have the legal authority to execute upon the natural authority over women right now.
Right. So it's not going to work. I mean, I'm just saying, I'm just laughing at this concept because, go ahead.
Give it another 5 years. We're pushing the Overton window. A lot of men they've woken up like a lot from compared to 5 years ago. Give it another 5 more years.
And why do you think I'm saying this? I couldn't say this a year ago. but I can say it now, and a lot of men would be saying they're secretly thinking, well, shit, I'd never say that out loud, but damn right, I agree. Okay, I'm just saying it, and I'm laughing because such a silly concept, but hey, would it work?
Women
is
need
it really
consequences.
damaging to women? No, I'm just tired of their bullshit.
Yes.
Spank them and send them home.
Yeah, spank them.
Oh,
and
what a
discipline
wonderful
them.
world it would be.
Yeah. Women need consequences. They need it. They don't want consequences, but they need it.
Oh, that's not true. Women actually want consequences.
Well, they say they don't want.
They
will never vote
don't
voluntarily. They will not vote for the things.
They actually become
to
attracted
restrain.
to a man who is dominant enough to impose consequences because, oh, this is a strong man.
Well, true,
You
Steve.
got to kind of think through the logic here.
Elena.
They will not vote voluntarily for the
No,
things that restrain their nature.
They will. No, they will.
She's doing it.
They will.
She's doing it.
Not voluntarily.
I know she's doing. Yes, and no, Elena, they will vote for it voluntarily. Not today, but they will vote voluntarily to strip themselves of their power.
Well, when they are desperate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that this goes back to what we were saying before.
Well, but this comes back to force, okay?
Yes.
Force first, then it's forced on them. So it's not really voluntarily, because voluntarily would be now. Voluntarily would be proactively doing things to limit their consequences later.
No. Voluntarily, people frequently volunteer for things when things are at their worst. That's when people start to volunteer to change. You have to understand, it's not conscious choice you're fighting. It's apathy and ignorance. What bad times do is they cut through the apathy and ignorance. They force people to confront these problems, and then people will start to make changes. But first, things have to get that bad that they are forced to confront them. Okay? And see, you're trying to make this into some sort of conscious choice these people are making. No, these people are not making conscious choices at all. They are running programming. Okay? Base human psychology. They're running, they're running some installed propaganda. Yeah. But it's all programming. They're not thinking.
Okay, here is a comment from Tacticus. Perhaps when the dual income household economy is rejected, true Threadcon values can return.
Sure.
I think that the Thread wives are already trying to get under single income household, but then the nastiest divorces also happen with these stay-at-home moms.
Yeah. Right. So no, we haven't experienced the deep pain yet. That's all you've said. We haven't gotten there yet.
We've been living through the troubles for the past 5 years.
And there's more to go.
They're just getting worse.
We've been kind of talking around this. But true change doesn't happen without kind of some desperation.
Yeah.
Okay, when does a alcoholic change his behavior? What's the word? Or 2 words. When he hits
the wall.
Rock bottom.
I was going to say a near-death experience or something like that.
Okay, same thing.
Yeah.
When do drug addicts change? When it comes just death's door, maybe a near-death experience. Mm-hmm. They're found in the gutter. Mm-hmm. Okay, that's when people change. Oh,
yep.
The conversion of Nala. Did it happen when she hit rock bottom?
No.
Or was it a strategic decision?
Strategic.
Yes.
Who's the other one?
I'm not surprised. Lily Phillips. I think somebody
Lily
was
Phillips.
showing.
Yes. Did she hit rock bottom, or was it a strategic move?
Well, she's following Nola's path.
Yes, it's strategic. Was it a really life-changing conversion experience? We've kind of talked about it. People don't change until things get so bad that they are forced to confront their reality. She's just jumping ship from one to the other. Oh, this will be my new persona. She never felt any pain there. God does this to us. He brings us to the point, and he gives us the pain that we need to reevaluate our life. And so if someone changes without that pain, do you believe it? Oh, yes, we can say, oh, we could change the laws because we see where this is going. If we change the laws now, we can reverse course. Great. True. If you repent now, you don't have to suffer the next 2 years and being found in the gutter. Okay, great. But I'm not in the gutter, so I don't really have to change. Okay, that's why you can't change until it's too painful not to change. It just doesn't work. So all these men who are not wifing up women, who are just withholding, they're doing the right thing. Are they using any force to change society? No. Should they? No. We're not at that time yet.
Correct. Yes.
The time will come and I'm not calling for a revolution. I'm not calling for violence. I don't know what's required. That's in the future. Right now, just chill out. Watch what's going on. Keep your powder dry. Deal with your own situation. Get out of debt. You know, I don't know, might be too late, but maybe not. Have a bit of precious metals. Not a bit. Don't put all your faith in that. Maybe a bit of crypto. Maybe some miners. Maybe lighten up with what's going on in the stock market. Have some cash. Get some skills.
Yes.
Be resilient. I don't know what the mix is for you. I really don't. But be a resilient man. And the most important thing you can do is have some skills that are necessary in a more basic world. Okay, if you're the most wonderful programmer, I'm a great coder. Okay, good. AI could be nipping at your butt here. And if there's a bunch of layoffs, which we think there's happening, maybe the most greatest coding skills are not your greatest asset now. What is? Well, you need to make a living. Maybe a CDL. Okay, I have that. Maybe there's other things. Oh, HVAC technician. Whatever it is. But the key is none of these credentials. You got to be a resourceful man and be able to look and figure out what's going on. And you show up at any job and say, okay, I'm going to show up on time. I'm going to apply myself to this job. You hire me and I'll do the job. I'll tell you what. Train me. I'll do the job for a week for free. And you can see the character that I have. Now, no one's going to take you up on that deal. I understand that. But the point is, you show up, you do it first. You show that you have the capability to just, okay, bring it on. I'll find my way through it. That attitude will be what's necessary for the quality man in the future. And that attitude will be so damn attractive to women when they are desperate.
All right. Oh my goodness, we've been at this for almost 4 hours.
Mm-hmm.
It's lunchtime here.
Yeah.
Have we answered your question sufficiently, Elena?
I think so. I still might have more questions, but I'll leave them for later.
So do you believe us when we say shame doesn't work and why it doesn't
I
work?
believe you. I believe you. It's
Are-
just
Are you going
there
to
are
slow
so
down?
many people who say we need to revive shame back. We need to bring it back. We need to do all of that. Do you think that they are trying to make it not their responsibility when they refuse to, let's say, restrain women and
Okay,
set some
just
boundaries on female
as a
behavior?
general
And then,
principle,
Mhm.
everyone is always looking to socialize the losses.
Okay.
They're always looking to socialize the pain.
Yeah.
They're always looking to outsource the consequences so they don't have to. So the answer to your question is yes. These people are just too early. They're just too soon.
It's a
Mm,
simpler answer, and then we have to cut it off.
yeah.
Most people do not have the intellect to understand the complexity of things. So they say, I know Occam's razor. I'm going to
Mhm.
apply the simple answer. And then I don't have to think about all those
Yep.
other things.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. So hopefully we've answered Elena's questions. Hopefully the audience got something useful out of this 4-hour marathon. Yeah, I think we're going to wrap it up here. Nick, do you have anything else you want to say?
No, I'm good.
Excellent.
Okay, guys, thank you so much for joining us today. Thank you for this interesting discussion. The resurgence of sanity, guys. What are you doing this Wednesday?
This Wednesday, I'm up. We're going to do it's kind of a geopolitics episode, but not really.
Okay.
There's a lot of geopolitics that goes into it, but yeah, we're going to be taking a look at how the world has changed. Now that some things have settled down, we can look at the impacts of what's been going on outside of U.S. borders, and I kind of want to focus on how all of that impacts us here, because there's been some really cool things that I've seen happening that I want to dive into. So, yeah,
Awesome.
we'll see you on Wednesday. Yeah, we're going to do. We don't always do red pill content or red pill what was that, misogynistic content. Sometimes we do other things. So this is going to be one of those other things.
Awesome. Yeah, it will be interesting. Join us on Wednesday on the Resurgence of Sanity YouTube channel at 5:45 p.m. Pacific. Okay. And we'll see you all next time. Take care, everyone. Thank you for your comments today. We appreciate you guys. Tell us what you think about this topic in the comment section. Okay. And we'll see you all next time. Enjoy your weekend. Bye.
Bye.
We've really got it all, and you couldn't ask for more. So sit right back and watch. You'll learn a shame of 3 or 4. Elena's Bar, Elena's Bar. The best place on the internet, the very best by far.